So I have like the same general metal body with like at joint areas you see like these like wooden tendons basically, and so it's like the same look except for I'm a lot smaller. Um, and so I only stand at about 2'8". And I have wings. So pretty small, but I do have the same generic look of like mostly metal body. There's like a piece that where like you would have like underwear and then like there's like a chest piece as well. But then in between, yeah, you just see those like wooden tendril things. But just all metal. And then my eyes are sapphire in color. Um, and then, so the reason I'm on this train, kind of, so I was a spy for Sire in the war. I was like a new round of warforged that they tried to create. Um, no one really knows why they made these new attempts to make them more like nimble and spy-like. Was it because, they didn't care if they died? Was it because, they just thought an more automated, sentient being would be better at the job? Who knows? But in the batch, I am the only one left. So what I did during the war was I spied around, not looking for anything in particular, but just trying to find out important information that would help Sire in the war. Obviously, I was not there when the morning happened because I am here now. I think that's it. Haven't been around for very long, so I don't have much of a backstory right now. I literally have not existed for anything but
More
to
than I
spy
have.
in war for like a year and a half.
Meanwhile, at this time, my elf is 158 years old.
Yeah, I'm a year and a half. Well, so I'm 2 years, but there's a little bit of like getting used to what you're supposed to be doing time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And with that,
Any
I'll
questions,
also say,
God?
I have none. I also helped you come up with some of that, so.
He has no questions over his own input.
No.
So I'll also say that, these two have also been playing D&D for a hot bit. So it's perfectly understandable if you have like much less thought out for like character backstory. I personally don't even really think of that much. I mostly just ad-lib it on the spot as like it's necessary. Or like, out between sessions come up with other chapters that may be interesting. But with that, going from left to right at the top right, we go to Dave.
Okay, so my character's name is Dave. He's a dragonborn fighter with a criminal background, criminal slash spy, but really more just carrying out low level hits for whoever was paying close by. I'm on this specific trip to hired by one of the noblemen to kind of think ahead of any ways that someone might try and assassinate him or someone in his party. So, kind of working back from my normal. As far as backstory, when I was young, I accidentally killed somebody, so I had to move early on and just didn't stop traveling around, figuring out ways to survive. That's it.
Nice. Thinking of who might have hired you, so there are two big noblemen on the train. One is Prince Orgev, who is the last surviving member of the royal family from Sire. The rest of them were present in Sire on the day of the morning. Perhaps one that better fits kind of more of a criminally type background, not just in terms of like more accepting towards criminals, but just kind of yeah, I don't know. one who'd be more accepting towards someone with more of a skeevy background would be Prince Ryger or Prince Kulverkin. But Ryger is essentially, or Ryger is the like the principal member of this faction that's aboard the train. So it's very likely that he might have hired you to essentially ensure that no harm befalls him.
Correct. Works. Oh, and I'm a black dragon. That, comes up later.
Okay.
Not
Going one step further would be Sarai, or Sirai. How do you pronounce it?
We're gonna go with Sarai.
Sarai. Okay. I'm typing out how I would say it.
I know, I'm coming up with nicknames for everybody because I'm not gonna. My character will have nicknames for everybody.
That's fun.
Great, Avo. Arvo, what are you? Aro.
I like it.
Anyway, so I am a tiefling ranger with a soldier background. So that, and you can kind of see that, like, actually is like a pretty accurate look of what I look like with like the super, like, I don't know, like dusty, muddy, like skin tone with like the white hair, but then like some of like the red, like scars and face paintings, I guess is the best way to describe it. I don't know how old I am. I'm gonna kind of feel that out as the storyline goes, as I like flesh out more about my character. Because I'm a tiefling, like I am pretty much like have been on my own like the entire time since I was like really little. And so when I think I'm gonna say around like 16 or 17, I decided to join the army in order to like have like food and shelter and like not have to continue to like survive on my own, and also like what else are you gonna do when it's the middle of a war. So, and then during that time I kind of just like honed my skills. I was never really like, I guess, accepted fully, so I'm like still kind of a lone I never like created like a loyal group of like people that I stuck with. So I was hired then, I think, as like a one-off like bodyguard for I forget the prince's name, who's like all alone now.
Orgev.
Orgev, yeah. Yeah, I was hired by him to just be that like protection, like not to like think of any strategy, not to do anything, but just to be like brute like protection if anything were to occur. And that is why I am here.
Cool. One thing I will mention is I believe, obviously your character can be whatever you wish. As I recall, a lot of tieflings come out of the demon wastes. A lot of them stay there. Ones that leave are usually either like on some sort of mission, which is typically evil, or they are rebelling against their evil origins.
Yeah, I was trying to shy away from the pure evil and just be more neutral of like I don't.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Any race can be any alignment. You can, do what you want. And that's just, food for thought as you think more about what your character backstory might be.
Yeah.
As far as places that, do you have an idea of what nation? Because you said you joined the army. Do you know who you were fighting for most of the time? Because my recommendation, it's again nothing you have to decide immediately, but
because I didn't really have any strong leanings
Yeah.
towards anything, so I was and I was just kind of gonna feel it out, because I think I'd never played before. I was just gonna see how this
Right.
goes and how it comes to me.
Yeah. Well, and something I was gonna throw out was as we move on from session to within the first couple sessions, if you want to change some aspect of your character, you're
Yeah.
more than welcome to, and that goes for everybody. But there's this is kind of a lore dump, but essentially a long time ago there was this big empire called the Dakani Empire. It was basically this big goblin hobgoblin type empire.
Mm-hmm.
It fell for reasons that are kind of it's long enough that the reasons for it are kind of shrouded in a bit of mystery, but essentially the nation of Dargoon was formed by goblins who were in Sire and were like hired out as mercenaries, and then they realized like we're the major powers in this region. Let's just make our own little nation. So there's a lot of like that has a much more like widely accepting nation in terms of like there are like
Gotcha.
bugbears, hobgoblins, goblins, gargoyles, all these like what in D&D is mostly considered like kill on sight monsters. They're all living as kind of a society mingled with humans and other races, of course, but that's just something to think about. And then last we've got do you pronounce it as Tomas or Thomas?
Thomas, yeah. Two things. One, my actual job is interceding here for 1 second.
Fair enough.
This will take 1 minute.
Absolutely.
Also, I sent you a message, and without giving that away, is it cool if I do that?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go check. Discord isn't giving me sounds, but yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
Did he say pronounce it Tomas?
Thomas.
Tomas. Okay.
Thomas.
Tomas.
All right.
Tomas.
Side note, I want my guy to have a mask like the Ninja Turtle.
Certainly doable.
Like, I know I'm a giant dragon. That might just stand out, but...
Like to blend in with the background.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say my elf was a fighter?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was assumed.
I'm just making sure, because now
I know the word fighter was mentioned, but I don't know if that was in the backstory or not.
Gotcha.
But yes, she's a fighter.
Yeah, I was pretty sure you were a fighter.
Yeah, no, I knew I had told you all beforehand that she was a fighter, but I couldn't remember if I actually said it in my spiel.
Okay. So,
we
as he said, I am Thomas. I am I guess, Syrian refugee, ex-soldier, just sort of traveling along because the last of my people are in this train. I was a soldier in the war, but then I got injured pretty badly, so I was sent home and sort of reassigned to internal security. And when the morning came, I was out on patrol, which is why I survived, and literally no one else I know in the world did. So I'm just sort of tagging along with this because I have nothing else to do, and I have nowhere else to go.
Cool. Okay, I think that's everybody's backstories, right?
Mhm.
Character introductions. Cool. So as far as map interactions, most of you should be able to move your tokens at will.
Do we have a token?
It should be on the map, on that train map. Is it not?
Oh, I need to be on. I'm not on the train.
Okay.
Now I got it.
Um,
I was on the map.
Gotcha. So you should be able to move it, and go ahead and move yourself freely. There are 2 Orgevs.
Oh no, which one's real?
I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one.
I'm done here.
Why are there so many Warforged soldiers coming in?
Can you only move on the map via the golden triangle on the bottom?
No, that pans the map around.
I can pick up my guy.
No, but how do you move the actual map? Or can you not?
I think you can right click.
You can pick up the map.
Oh, no.
No, so it doesn't do the thing that every other map does in the world. You have to hold down the middle mouse button to pan it up and down. I know. I haven't looked into how to maybe fix that, but very much not.
Well, I currently don't even know where we are because there's nothing where I am.
So the car where everyone is all the way at the bottom.
I didn't realize that there was more than one
I found
car, so I thought that was all we could see, and then now I don't know where I am anymore.
So
wait, no.
I got it.
Yeah, you could hold down the middle mouse button.
Go down.
And scroll all the way. way down.
Can you zoom? You can't zoom out though. Like
I know that was.
So that is unfortunately as far out as it can be zoomed.
Brittany, I was looking at that.
I know, sorry! Where do you want your character? Because I think I can move him. Yeah.
I don't know, put me in a corner somewhere.
Against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
who are
Oh,
all these
those are
people? I
seats,
don't know
okay.
who any of
Oh, they're chairs. Okay, I didn't know what those were.
Yeah.
Guess that makes sense.
I'm gonna sit
I'll
next to
be
you.
here.
Okay, I'm going to remove these. Okay.
Sorry, you should sit next to me since we're both like kind of bodyguards for Orgev.
Where are you?
I
Oh, there you
am.
are. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was like. I was gonna station myself like
Mm-hmm.
here, but that makes sense to be like across from him.
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Is there anything on this to indicate like player characters as opposed to NPCs?
So I'm about to move. I'm setting everyone else to be no faction. They also shouldn't be invisible, but.
Why are you square?
Who's this person?
So some people are square because I didn't have player pictures for them, and so I chose the default ones. And those have
so
Who's
we
this?
don't know what they
Who's
are.
the person who's not one of? Who's the person who's not one of us? Who's this?
So that is a.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not 100% certain on how to lock individual tokens yet, so.
I'm sorry, I just like how you start like it just started moving up and down. Who's this?
But all of
Shake
these
around
Well, I didn't
bit.
know how else to. I didn't
No,
know
I
how else
appreciate
to
it. I
tell
just-
him
The dude with
who I
the
was.
beard and the blue collar.
There's no way that would have worked.
So the people with the white hair and the man with the beard sitting across from Watcher and the two people down at the bottom are just kind of nameless passengers, or at least they're nameless because they are not notable enough for you to know their names.
Like the people with the people at the bottom, or the people which people? Like the people with the crowns?
The people with the silver hair down at the bottom.
And the goggles.
They look like.
Mm.
Okay, I can't see all of those people at one time, so.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I can't see them either. Gotcha.
Like I can see where Arrowven down to Winsel, and that's all I can see
Same.
at one time.
Gotcha.
That's where I'm.
Yeah. So one way to change how far you can zoom in or out is to change the dimensions of the map.
A lot. We're not.
So if you
I
go to
don't know how to do
the
that.
very bottom right and just like make the map a little smaller, then you can zoom out.
How do you do that?
So at the very bottom right-hand corner, there's like, kind of like if you're trying to adjust a like a browser window.
Your
Like
cursor will turn into those two arrows.
Yeah.
And you can like drag the border.
I still can't. I mean, no matter how small I make this box, I can't see any more than that window.
Did you use the scroll wheel to zoom out?
No,
Use the scroll wheel.
my
to
mouse
zoom
doesn't
out.
work. My mouse doesn't work like that. The scroll wheel moves me up and down the train.
Yeah.
Well, so it if you're all the way zoomed out and you continue to try to zoom back, it does try to scroll you up.
I don't know what I did.
Okay.
That's just as far as I can zoom out. Like,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't zoom out any further.
Interesting. Because like I can zoom out further if I make the map less wide, so I make it thinner. Then I can zoom out further. But not super
It doesn't
necessary.
matter.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless
Yeah.
you.
Bless
Something
you.
to
Thank
play
you.
with.
Who's the guy in the very front with glasses?
So you have not met him yet, but he is walking up and down the.
Cow.
He's gonna start walking down the train as we get into the scene. But
Okay.
I'll start with just kind of like some background.
Sounds a little
blurbs.
sketch to me.
Because the year is 996 YK.
Oh,
The continent of Corvair has been ransacked by over a century of war. 2 years after a devastating event destroyed the nation of Sire, along with almost all of its inhabitants, the war is drawing to a close. You are on board a lightning rail, a signature development of the savvy House Cannith and operated by House Orion. Along with you are several major dignitaries of the war-weary nations, who are heading to the metropolis of Flamekeep, where they will take a ferry to Thronehold to begin negotiations to end the war. You find yourselves in a passenger car, lavishly decorated and furnished. The nobles and their guards inhabit their own sections with well-to-do passengers on their own and private areas, or separate areas. Notables present in the car are Prince Orgev Irwinarn, last surviving member of the Siren royal family, along with Prince Ryger Irwinarn, and
Wait, can you slow down a little bit?
Yeah.
So there's Prince Orgev
Irwinarn, last surviving member of the Siren royal family. Along with Prince Ryger Irwinarn of the Lazar Principalities.
Of the Lazarian Principalities?
Lazar. Lhazar. And he is the leader of the Sea Dragons.
Do we know what the Sea Dragons are?
You know that the Sea Dragons are... so the Lazar Principalities is essentially broken up into several different principalities. And are essentially just different pirate clans. So the Sea Dragons are the clan that have been most prominent in the war, both in terms of record in battle as well as just sheer size. The Sea Dragons are the largest.
Okay.
Prince Orgev is accompanied by his Warforged, bearing the metallic gauntlets of the Iron Fist on their breastplates. This is an image of a generic Warforged. So if you hold on, let me find where it is. There we go. This is an image of a Warforged soldier. So instead of a crown, it's an iron gauntlet on their breastplate. Prince Ryger's companions are less intimidating, though no less important. He is accompanied by the leader of a major Lazar principality. I believe only... looking at it, I think only Dave is really closely interacted with him. So Dave, you would know that the one of his companions is Prince Kolberkin. I don't know if you guys can see names if you hover over tokens, but
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll know that one of them is Prince Kolberkin, and he is the leader of the... Oh boy, I'm blanking on the name. Let me jump over real quick to my characters. Kolberkin is the leader of... Oh boy. Sorry, 1 second. The Dire Sharks. And then jumping back. And along with him is a dignitary from a major trading post in the Lazar Principalities, named Winsel Harden. And so, from here, we're kind of into the actual game. So, D&D is essentially broken up, by and large, into two different kinds of gameplay. The first, which is what we'll be doing here, or at least for the first bit, is going to be roleplay. So that's when, by and large, you're not rolling dice unless I were to ask you to. But generally, you are just talking as your character. So for instance, Nicole for this like portion will be talking as Watcher to either the people like you all or the NPCs around her, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And so, for the most part, that's just talking in character, which we'll do for like a bit, and then we'll also, spoiler alert, talk about combat later on in this session.
Oh.
And everyone should use a voice.
I don't do voices, even as a DM. I can't. I can't do accents.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
have to be
doing
an
an
accent.
accent, but
It's
do like
a
a, like
voice.
maybe do like a deep voice.
I'll say, we'll see if one develops. How about that?
Howdy, y'all.
Okay.
My name's
Please say
Dave.
howdy, y'all, as Dom.
God.
Yeah, can this all be like actually set in Texas?
It's actually
Why?
just-
No one's from there. We don't know what they talk like.
Pretty much like Dave just did. Real quick before we continue, I think I might have Fantasy Grounds working. Wasn't there an issue with the IP address
So
earlier?
yes, so
Yeah,
instead
do
of
the
an IP,
good unicorn.
post that unicorn sentence.
Good unicorn, daring goon.
Where do I put
No
that?
daring goon
Instead of an
unicorn.
IP address, put that in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Invalid server direct network address.
interesting.
Did you put spaces between all the words?
Yeah,
Okay.
Lowercase.
I copied directly from Discord.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, Josh can't spell, so it might be
Yeah,
wrong.
don't do that.
That's weird. Looks like it's
Yeah, I
spelled
don't
right.
know. I mean, I copied it straight from it too.
What's the port? Do I need that?
You shouldn't have to do any like port forwarding.
Okay, so I'm just on like the homepage, right?
Right.
Join LAN game, joined by IP and port. Am I going to the wrong place?
Are you? That almost sounds like Fantasy Grounds Unity, but I'm not 100%.
That sounds like Fantasy Grounds Unity.
She downloaded the wrong one.
So yeah,
I downloaded the one that works.
So unfortunately, yeah. So there are two Fantasy Grounds, which is how.
Why?
So here's the thing, right? If I could be running this on Fantasy Grounds Unity, I would. Unfortunately, they had a Kickstarter to make Fantasy Grounds Unity, and haven't released it for public purchase since.
Oh.
So I'm essentially waiting for the Steam release to buy it, so I can have it. Which is...
Okay.
So, hopefully that'll happen soon, and until then, just watch the stream.
Yeah, I've heard it's gonna happen soon, but, you know.
Alright, never mind.
We can always
tried
diagnose
so
it,
hard, and we
see if it
appreciate
works
it.
some other time. I don't know. It's a wild
Or Henry,
thing.
you run it.
So you guys have recently or not recently, but a couple, like maybe an hour or two ago, you guys left this town of Traylon, and have just kind of been rocketing along. Lightning cars are much like trains as you know them, but they're almost like the futuristic imagination of trains where they run on kind of magnets and they float off the ground. It's essentially what a lightning train is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of rocketing along. A wiry, old-looking gentleman in glasses kind of wanders up and down the halls. He first stops to talk to the prince for a short time, and then steps over to both Erovin and Sarai, and just kind of looks at both of you. He's got a little notepad in his hand. He's, what would you like to drink?
What do you have?
We have mead, we have ale, water, I believe, in the back. Some wines.
I'll take water.
One water, and you,
Um,
my horn
Nothing
friend.
for me.
Nothing. Oh, okay. He's gonna wander. He's just gonna keep going down. First talk to the guy on the left, then go over to Watcher. And oh wait, sorry. He's gonna kind of stop, look at you, and be not quite sure what to say, and then just kind of keep going past Watcher.
Oh!
Psych.
Maybe some grease for you.
So it's worth noting that as we jump forward in time, part of the Treaty of Thronehold gives freedom to all Warforged, but as of this point in the last war, they are technically still just servants. So, because they are technically not really recognized as being living, because none of them are artisans. They were exclusively created to be soldiers. And all of the gentlemen in this booth, what do you have? We have we've many beverages, whatever you
Like what?
desire. He kind of like sweeps around to everyone in here.
Ale.
Nothing for me.
And you gentlemen, and he takes these three guys' orders and moves along. And as he's like kind of finishing up wrapping orders, this prince at the top, Prince Orgev, kind of looks over to Sarai. Just not much of a drinker then, eh?
No, you never know where it's coming from.
I've traveled on lightning rails quite a bit, and I must say I've never been poisoned.
We've also
try to
never
make
been
sure-
going to a treaty.
We'll try to make sure you continue to not be poisoned.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Have you been on a lightning rail before?
First time for me.
I'll say I never have.
It's quite an enjoyable time, and we'll say that theoretically these are relatively long cars, but we'll say that it's relatively quiet. This noise kind of travels.
Mhm.
And with that, the High Prince, or not the High Prince, but Prince Ryger kind of steps out into the hallway with that and just kind of shouts out at him. These lightning rails are just bollocks. They're terrible. They're awful. Wouldn't you agree with me, my friend? And he gestures to Tomas, sitting to his left.
They're getting us where we need to go.
They're terrible. You can't beat a good boat, as I always say.
Yet here we are.
And, the Warforged kind of clank up to here as Orgev kind of steps out with him. I very much like your saying there, friend. I notice you're not on a boat, are you? Seem to be not on one at all. Well,
we're all on the same train. Which is indeed not a boat.
Not the same boat.
I'll admit I was curious about the lightning rail and how it works. I'm not keen on it, but anything to end a war, I suppose.
Sir, I just do a thumbs up.
I know, sorry, I'm gonna play the strong silent type in the moment.
the roleplay will get easier as we go.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard jump in.
Mhm.
Because I didn't really want to do exclusively these two fucking bickering, but you know. Now,
Give a eye roll to Aro over there. Like,
Okay.
this is what we're doing.
Yeah, I kind of look at you, just like, I'm gonna pull out like my hunting dagger and just kind of like sharpen it, just to do something else.
I continue to look all around.
ending a war. This man here, as Colburkin gets out of his fucking chair. This charlatan wants nothing more than to claim himself emperor of all Izar and make us all slaves. Take away our freedoms. You love freedom, don't you, my scaly friend? He points to Dave, who seems to be just kind of... You're not like in a seat, you're kind of just up against a wall.
Yeah, I'm just leaned up against the wall.
You seem like a man who loves his freedom.
I do love my freedom, but I don't think here's a place to argue about it.
Well, if we just let that man have his way, we're all gonna lose our freedom.
I thought you were interested in peace.
I'm interested in the peace. The Prince Ryger in the center says, "Hi. I'm sorry for my friend here. He I dream of a united Lazar.
Under you.
Yes, under him." That guy chimes in, and then well, yes, under me. I would be the first among equals. High Prince would be my title.
Seems like a hollow
Just kind of
freedom.
glaring at him.
It sounds like tyranny. And this guy, Colburkin, is just staring fucking daggers at Ryger. And at this point, the third man who's yet to get up kind of like weasels his way. Now, gentlemen, there's no need for violence. Everything will be fine here. Excuse me, my fellows. They're not used to close quarters or trains, so if you'll excuse me. He tries to like kind of, you'll see he kind of like ignores Prince Colburkin and just kind of ushers Ryger back to his seat, kind of talking in hushed tones almost, as it were.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Is there like a token I'm not seeing? Because I'm having trouble following who is speaking.
Yeah, so Ryger is this guy who's moving around. I guess it's hard because he can't mouse over names, but Colburkin, the angry, scratchy British guy, is that one. And then Winsel Harden is the guy who broke up the fight and is this one. Your temporary token, like, is this guy over here.
Yeah.
That's just a default changeling picture.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to move your character, just let me know and I'll move it.
Yeah, you can move. So anyone's free to move their characters as they will here. So when we get into combat, there are different movement rules, but outside of combat, feel free to move your characters like anywhere you want. Presumably within this car, unless you say that you want to leave the car.
Can I make a quick request?
Yeah.
Until I get my thing working and can mouse over people's names, can who's ever speaking wiggle their token?
Sure.
Thank you.
This one.
Those fellows are simply ridiculous, I'd say, says Prince Orgev, who's up here.
The wiggle.
Simply can't trust one. They seem to be under the... He kind of, like, whispers. He's kind of in the middle of some people, but he kind of, like... He whispers probably loud enough just for Watcher Sarai and Aerovin to hear. They seem to be under the opinion that you can win a land war by sea.
They obviously don't know how to fight then.
Yeah, they're not the best.
They don't seem too friendly with each other.
They seem very divided.
He kind of slinks forward to where Watcher is. Hello, my friend Watcher. I noticed dear Reginald didn't take anything, or did you need anything?
There is no need for me to drink.
Well, yes, but if you should require anything, I don't know necessarily what you should require. I don't pay much. I'm not accustomed to the maintenance of the Warforged.
I just am going
You
to sit here
people.
and listen.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You'll know, like, I am just sitting there, just sitting there, just sitting there.
Very still.
Yeah, are you completely motionless? Like not.
Need some oil there? You seem a little stiff.
Do you have like an actual like mouth that moves, or is it like a voice box inside and you just project?
That's up to you.
Josh? Oh, that's up to me.
Yep.
Your
Okay.
character.
You got one of the holes that
Yeah.
you have to cover.
Warforged has
No.
there are all sorts of degrees of technology. Warforged have
Yeah, so I will have, I just didn't know if it mattered.
no.
I do have a mouth that moves.
Okay.
But I don't have like real eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like
Do you have a nose?
But yes, I'm literally sitting there motionless besides like when I talk. And I have mouth movements.
Okay. Just want to check. I know I can't see you right now, but
Ugh. So it's
Yeah, I have a question about are the booths like sectioned off like with a wall, or are they like completely open to see all the way down?
So these have little slits of like little grates. They're not like large.
Okay.
But they're like little grates you could see through. Like you couldn't easily see everyone all the way down, but if you wanted to carry a conversation with the person in the seats, like.
So I can see
next to
Watcher
you.
through the splits. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then so each one's got like a little like privacy latch. So if they wanted to, they could slam it on you, kind of thing. Each side's got a little panel they can open and close.
How rude.
I would have just left it in whatever position it was in, so.
an extendo arm. Close it.
If that was open, that was open. If that was closed, it was closed.
I would have opened it.
So at about this time, let me set this guy visible. About this time, the essentially waiter, you heard Orgev call him Reginald, kind of comes in with everybody's drinks and kind of, feeds down and hands everybody their beverages if they ordered one. And then just kind of wanders back up out of the cabin.
There he goes.
Unless anyone is stopping him.
No.
But
No, I don't trust him. But
I will take my water and pour it into like a water skin I have, and just like store it back like beside me. Look, if you're from like the desert area, you take water whenever you get it.
Yeah, I guess then
No,
nobody
that's
really
fair.
catches that unless Sarai's looking, but I don't know how odd you would find that necessarily.
Yeah, Sarai sees it and accepts it. Being arranged. I mean.
With that, with like a glass of mead, Orgev is going to kind of wander down south, kind of over to where Dave, Tomas, and all of the pirate lords are, and just kind of speak broadly, not quite directly at Ryger, but just kind of saying, "Listen, I know we have our differences, but we're going to Thronehold to end this war, and I'd like to extend my hands in friendship." And he does kind of extend his hands, like open palm towards them, as to promote an end to this conflict. I'd like to offer a toast, and the three of them kind of all look at each other. Ryger just kind of moves around and wiggles and says, "I guess we can have a toast then. How about you all?" And he kind of shouts loud enough that everyone can kind of hear. A toast, all of us. To all of us a toast. And he'll kind of like stand up. He'll like try to beckon the other people, at least in the car. Everyone further up can hear it and are welcome to kind of come in if they'd like.
I am gonna move
I was
down
like,
here. Just,
I'll move as well.
Keep an eye. I'll maybe. Do you want to stand right here?
No, I was gonna stand like a little bit closer
Okay.
forward. I have a question. So, like, with like D&D in general, like, how much of it is speaking? Like, because I don't want to interrupt you, obviously. So, how much of it is like waiting until like you address something,
Oh,
and
no,
like how
no.
much of it is
You
just
can.
like
So
okay.
yeah. So this is something that'll get a little bit better in time. You can interrupt to do anything at any time unless we're in a combat scenario or like I say this happens first. So yeah, like if like you want to, like, so if when when Reginald was coming in with drinks, if you said like I'm gonna get up and just go somewhere else, you just say that and then you do it.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so anyone who wants to can kind of get in. Even Cole Birkin's kind of, maybe he's a little softened. He seems to be at least a little bit into his alcohol. Maybe he had one or two before Reginald came by with his glass. But all of the three notables in that car are getting in on this toast. So anyone who wants to can kind of crowd in and get in on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I accept a drink, but I don't drink.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I just watched the situation. I'm just watching everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I will drink some of my water.
So yeah, they all. Prince Orgev just kind of says like, "To peace," and then a resounding chorus of "to peace," and then clinks of glasses out and around the center. And right around then, the car to the north, or the glass door that is between the cars to the north opens, and Reginald is there. And as he walks down, Dave, because you are watching the situation, just kind of watching around, and because we haven't done one yet, give me a perception check. So a check in D&D is you roll a d20.
Okay.
and then add the appropriate modifiers. So in the case of...
Okay.
I don't have... Let me see if I can pull up your character sheet. But... Oh yeah, so Roll20 also has built-in dice.
Oh,
if you
what
fuck.
don't
would
have
that
it.
be?
You just wasted that nat 20.
Yeah, I have a
Wow.
Get
I mean,
wrecked.
I'm not rolling their dice anyway.
It did waste a nat 20.
Like, you're not gonna
So,
have
like-
that when you need it now.
So like your character
I'm
has...
not going to use theirs.
Or so on your character sheet, under perception, it says
Mhm.
+1. So you roll a d20 and then
Okay, so-
add 1 to it. And then you tell me that number.
Alright. 18 plus 1, 19.
Okay. You notice Reginald is walking much more stiffly than he was previously. There seems to be... he even has kind of the start of sweat forming on his brow. As he kind of...
Can I
Yes.
turn around and notice him as he's coming up behind us?
Yeah, so you'll notice him. If you want to, like, similarly, you can also just roll perception as
Yeah.
he's walking in.
I mean, like so every time, like if the perception was just for Andrew, or for his character.
So yeah, so
But,
his
so
character's aware of it right now. Yeah.
I got
So
an
if
18.
I want to be aware of it, then I also have to roll.
Yeah, so so he gets up to the group and kind of interrupts and just says, "Sir," and at that point, anyone who wants to can roll a perception check. What'd you get?
I got an 18.
Yeah, so you also notice he seems very stiff
Different.
compared
Yeah.
to how he
I
was
got a
acting
14.
before. Okay, you probably don't notice the sweat on his brow, but you do notice he seems to be walking a little different.
Mhm.
So for this, I roll a d20 that add my perception modifier
Yeah,
Mhm.
or perception bonus.
yeah. So on your character sheet, it should just have a plus something or minus something if you're really bad. But
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, Josh.
yes,
My, like, skills
I got
modifier
18.
stuff is not filled in.
your skills on what?
Like, on the character sheet, they don't have anything on them. Does that matter? Because, like, I know I can just look at whatever its associated skill is.
Are you talking about Fantasy Grounds?
No, the PDF.
Oh, that's weird.
I mean, like, I know
Right,
I
I
can just
actually-
look at my charisma modifier, but...
Yeah, so you add your charisma modifier. Oh wait, charisma. For
Perception.
I'm not
wisdom.
doing perception, this
Oh.
check.
Okay.
So
But-
what you would do then, like, you can obviously fill it in whenever, but yeah, so you would add your related skill modifier, and then if you're proficient in it, your proficiency modifier.
Okay, I got a 16.
Yeah, I mean, I
because
know
didn't
how it
realize
works. I was just telling you.
Yeah.
I couldn't find where the perception plus stuff.
Gotcha.
So I got a
Yeah.
16.
So basically, everyone who's looking pretty much
Okay.
discerns that this guy's acting different, like odd. And he calls out, "My prince, a word, please." And the prince turns. He's like, "Okay," and kind of.
I'm gonna stop him.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. We'll both put our hands out. Like,
Yeah, okay, good.
we'll whisper. Or you
Yeah,
go
I was
ahead.
gonna just like casually ask like what is this, Reginald? I was like, I don't know, did you fall? You seem to be walking stiff or something.
No, fall? No. There's been a disturbance in the kitchen, and I'd like,
Then why do you need the prince if there's something wrong in the kitchen?
well,
Shouldn't you be going to fix this situation?
I'm not as strong as I used to be. I was seeking the aid of his, warforged, guards there. Oh, and then,
Why did-
Orgev kind of wait. Oh, 231A and 231C?
I assume that's the.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
he's gesturing to these the Warforged standing there. I mean, what kind of disturbance, my good man? It's that was Orgev, by the way.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there he goes.
Move the tokens on top of each other. Well, it's the cooks, you see. One of them seemed to be struck with some kind of madness. And I think we need to physically restrain him.
I say, why don't they stay here? I'll go with you.
I can help too. At the mention of potential combat, Arrowman's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I know. I was like,
go.
Perhaps just the guards, please. I think that will be enough. You don't need to ruin your good times.
I pipe up and say, why do you need both of them? Isn't it just a cook? Don't you think one is enough?
It never hurts to have
Because he's trying to get both of
extra
them,
hands.
Prince Orgev, what do you say? They are your guards.
Don't be a dumbass.
Say that under your breath, right?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was.
Listen, I hope in this peace negotiation to establish Sire once more as a sovereign nation, and as king, I would not be against taking counsel. So I would ask those of you whom I've hired, what your stance on such a thing would be. And, so yeah.
That's us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I recommend you stay here, and I will go with Reginald to see what the disturbance is.
One of the guards with you.
Yeah, and leave the
Set
guards
up
with
a-
you, and then I can be like, and Watcher, you watch him. Sorry. That's gonna come up later too. Where I'm gonna say.
Watcher, you have a pretty low perception, don't you?
Wait, you're
She's
I'm
just
sorry.
sitting there. She's doing
I You're not. Who are you guarding again? I can't remember. You're just there to watch, or not to watch, but you're just there to like participate, or you're like hired as a guard. I can't remember.
Me, I'm hired to do stuff when we get to the negotiations.
Gotcha. So at this moment, you're just like, it's not
So,
my
like,
job.
he has still hired Watcher, so I mean, he would look for your advice.
Well, hold on, I'm trying to think, because I had an idea of what I was going to do, but I can't say it right now.
That's fine. You can stay quiet. I don't want to ruin your plans.
So you're just
I'll
gonna
say-
stay
Well,
quiet?
hold on. I mean, does he look at me?
He is looking at all of you, just seeking advice.
Yeah. Then, so if nothing is directed towards me explicitly, I'm going to just stay there if someone talks.
Okay.
Which,
I will tell
sir,
her.
I did. So.
She takes watch literally and is just staring at him.
Yeah,
Nothing
I
else,
know.
just stare.
I support that too.
Put both hands up.
But I say, I'll tell Orgev, I'm finding, and like I'll be whispering this just to him, I'm finding Reginald's behavior just a little suspicious. So I agree with Sarai that you stay here and safety in numbers, and we can go check it out. I wouldn't mind. There's something going on. I need a few stretches, so.
Or I can also.
Okay, I would need to point out that Terranadel elves, especially the Valinar, which is like a subset of them, they want war, like, all the time. That's their whole thing, is they always want war.
Okay. I think I would suggest, I was like, Dave, why don't you come with? If it's truly, because he wants more people restraints that we need, so that I don't leave Dave with the prince. Gabe.
Smart.
Dave, why don't you help out? You seem like a strong fellow.
Oh, you're talking to me. I hate. You know what? No,
Your name is Dave.
no, that's right.
When you enter the D&D
But
game,
no,
your normal name is no longer
Well, I guess I don't know your name yet, so I say, hey, you.
Dragon.
Dragon.
I
It's
respond with,
strength.
I'm here just to protect this man, not to fix problems in the kitchen. So I'm gonna say no.
All right.
I'll come.
Roleplay.
Like that.
All right, Tomas is coming.
Yeah, you need one more. I'll come.
Perfect.
Okay.
Does that work for you, Reginald?
He kind of stops for a second. I suppose.
All right, then it's settled.
Gonna start walking along, or
Okay.
up over here.
Following.
Yeah, I'll follow.
So once
Grab you. I got you.
once Reginald gets through the door, I'm going to follow just slowly behind.
Are you flying?
But I'm trying to be stealthy.
Are you flying?
Yes, I always fly.
Are you attempting to actively stealth?
Yes, I want to not be seen.
Okay, then give me a stealth check.
Yes.
So since I guess so, you are sneaking against. I'm assuming the party going up.
Well,
like you were trying to
do
hide
I have
yourself
to
from
sneak
them.
against all of them, or can I just sneak from Reginald?
Like, do you care if anyone else sees you?
I don't care. I just don't want him to see me.
Okay then.
But we can still compare it against our passive perception to see if we notice you.
So yeah.
Following.
So everyone should have. So on your character sheets, there is what's called a passive perception. So that is
rough. They're all gonna see me.
So that's a flat number. That you like. If you're not actively looking out, that is what people have to beat to stealth. Or for
Wait,
like
which one is it? Where is that?
So there should be a box called passive perception. So like if someone were to try to sneak, or like if if you're very good at passively percepting things, then like sometimes you may like, for instance, like find a trap before you step on it, that kind of thing. Even if you're not actively looking for traps, you like notice the wire.
It should be either under or like next to your ability scores.
So yeah, they'd have the more purple, more better. So let me see. So.
Well, Elena doesn't.
Oh, okay,
that's
I
right.
see it.
You have it.
Passive
That's right. You have
perception is okay. I see it. Do I roll for it or no?
So it's just a flat number.
No.
What's a? 12.
So what? 12. Okay. So if whoever is stealthing rolls higher than a 12, you don't notice them. But then like I have a 14, so if they roll 13, I notice them.
Okay. Cool.
We got an 8, fellows.
Oh, we all noticed.
Okay, so you guys all notice that Watcher is following.
Like,
I still
look
have
over my
to
shoulder.
find.
I ignore it.
Yeah, so like it's up to you guys as for how you react to it. If you just like.
I don't have anything against Watcher at this point, so I just let it happen.
I kind of give her like a sideways glance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's your opinion on Warforged since you're a refugee?
I mean, I kind of dislike anything associated with the war, honestly. But I mean, did not do anything right now. Actually, that Watcher, I've been using her and she to refer to you, but what is Watcher's pronouns given it is a machine?
Watcher has no gender.
Watcher doesn't give a crap.
So you an it or a they them?
We're gonna call you it.
Yeah. So it
Watcher
takes off
has
like
no
a little
gender.
drone with a high-pitched whine from its engines. Zzz.
Yeah. So when Tomas looks back, I was just going to hold a finger up to my lips. Not not saying shh, but like, in the shh way.
Okay.
Think you have a mouth.
Half a mouth.
Gets up to the door. Reginald kind of stops, and without turning around, says, "We can have one more."
Perfect. Let's keep going.
I was just wanting to move seats.
This is
Give me a
very quickly
deception
suspected.
check.
Gotcha. Because Nicole rolled an 8, then even Reginald could see her.
Yep, Reginald had a passive perception of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 is like the lowest
Ooh.
it typically is unless someone has a negative wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
Could be possible. What
You're
if
real
21.
fucking dumb.
Okay, well, I'll roll, but if it's not a net 20, yeah, okay. Fair enough, then. Come along, you three. And then he opens the door, and outside, it's, kind of like hopping from cart to cart in an old-fashioned train. The wind's kind of going by, you kind of just gotta make a hop.
you can die?
You could die. We'll say that it's pretty much safe enough that you don't have to... So, like, in other cases where you make, like, a death-defying jump, you may have to make some kind of check. We'll say this is safe enough, you can just do it pretty easy.
Cool.
Watcher, do you continue to attempt to stealth behind them?
Yes, I'm gonna wait until Reginald is out the door, though, until I go.
Or in this next cart, she's following. I'm just changing seats.
I'm just changing seats into the next car. It's fine.
She like sits down on the coupler between the two cars.
I am gonna wait until they all get out the door, though. So.
Okay. So by the time you guys are all out the door...
Long.
Okay. So then move yourself where you'd prefer to be, Watcher. There you go.
Are we following in the map? Should we follow? Because is the action, I assume, going to stay with them, and the other people in the cart are just going to be.
So the other people in the cart, not much is gonna happen unless something crazy happens.
Okay, so I'm just so I know to follow with the map rather than leave it.
Yeah. Because you are watching, or because you are like actively kind of peering around, Dave, you will notice that Watcher is just kind of sneaking after everybody.
Because everybody.
Okay.
Because I mean, it is very
I
hard
see
to
it and I
stealth
just-
in front of somebody, but.
I see it and I just shrug.
What kind of wings do you have? Are like butterfly wings?
That's a
Bird
good question.
wings?
Helicopter wings.
They would be
Little
like the
drone
shape
wings.
of like fairy wings.
Okay. So butterfly wings.
So like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
A
I'm
2-foot
essentially
wing
metal
Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell.
Okay.
Ah!
Anybody seen the real old Wrath of the Gods with the little mechanical owl?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild
Yeah.
times. So as Reginald gets into this car, kind of just says, "I tried my best," and a hooded figure slips out from around this corner. Those.
I have a question.
Yes.
So once they're all through the door, I guess I should have said this earlier. Like, is it possible for me to just like hang out on the outside here, or no?
You can fly. Even though
You
the
just-
train's moving very fast, we're gonna assume physics doesn't necessarily apply.
I'll say if she's floating, does
Yeah, it would.
Because I'm
it-
assuming there's like
Theoretically-
there's like a window, right?
Holding on,
Theoretically, if
she's
you
in one of
started
these,
floating,
like-
you would immediately smash into the back of the cart, but that,
Well.
that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not
you got
fun.
fall there
It's
and
fine.
you're negative your HP?
But I'm assuming this is like a train car, so there's like windows in the door. If it's a solid door, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna do it.
No, there are windows. There are windows.
Okay. Yeah. If you will allow it, I want to do this.
Okay, what do you want to do? Or are you just
This.
saying hanging out there? Yeah, you can hang out there.
to like look through to see what I can see.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably not hear anything, but
Just
Right.
watching.
I
just
know.
watching.
It's gonna, that pun's gonna,
Oh yeah.
The
it's
hooded
gonna
figure's
be.
gonna step forward and
Gonna take out my double bladed scimitar.
I put my hand on my gun.
Oh, you have a gun. Oh god.
you see a couple more
The Glock.
who are kind of trying to hide, but you can pretty readily see them sitting there.
I point my gun at them.
Those
I really
aren't
want to say,
No,
like,
like
so
a
this
low,
is the cook that needs
ready,
help.
I guess.
These aren't the Warforged. Is what the leader
And you're not a
says.
cook.
Yeah.
It's true. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I serve the Mistress of the Eyes. And this one, and as he's stepping forward, he thrusts a knife just straight into Reginald's chest.
Reginald.
And he just kind of gives like a and then falls over. Has just outlived his usefulness.
I shoot him.
So, yep, okay, so we're at the start of combat. We'll take that as an action. So we'll take your gunshot and as a readied action. So we'll go ahead and go into what we call combat rules. So first step is for everyone to roll initiative. This should also be a thing that's on your character sheet. People in the more purple, more better, it's above your health. And so it's the same thing, like most of D&D, it's roll a d20 and then add whatever's in that bubble.
It should be where?
It should be
What is it called?
It should be initiative.
Josh, you didn't
What?
say you didn't say that it was like a modifier to initiative.
Sorry, it's a modifier to initiative.
So basically, you roll a d20, and there is a section that says your initiative. It's just your dexterity modifier.
Yeah.
So if you have a +2, you add to your initiative. It's how fast you are.
Okay, I got 22.
So
Ooh,
I
nice.
don't know if people are able to edit the initiative tracker at all, but
If not, we can put it in the chat.
So it's like, you said it's a +2 for the dexterity. Like, I don't have to find anything else if that's not there.
Well, do you have +2 for dexterity? Or do you
Yeah.
have +1? Okay. Yeah, so you add 2 to your roll.
so what'd
Okay,
you get?
22.
22?
22. Yeah.
Nice.
I got a 14.
Okay, let me find you. Okay.
Should I be rolling?
Yeah,
Or
go ahead and
in
roll
the back
2.
of the train still.
Yeah, so you're in
When
the
you hear
back
a
of the train,
gunshot,
but
so-
we'll keep you
Or
in
maybe you don't.
initiative.
You'll probably be
'Cause-
able to hear the fighting.
Yeah, because you also never know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could probably hear the good gunshot.
Yeah, there is a gunshot. You will hear a gunshot.
Yeah, I forgot that there's fucking guns in this.
Right.
Eberron is
I know, I didn't
steampunk
either. I was
majesty.
like,
Everyone's wild.
Eberron is great.
So like shit is actually loud.
shit is real.
Pulls out the fucking Glock.
Do we have
Got
an
11
initiative
for
tracker or
initiative.
Yes,
So,
so the 2 swords at the top on the right-hand side opens your initiative tracker.
no? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't edit it. Mine's 9 though.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I
yours
can't.
is 9.
Oh, we'll have to roll against each other. Because I also
Roll against each other.
Yeah.
I thought you just take who has a better dex.
So you normally do?
So that's how I've always done it.
That's
Is
what I've
you
always
do
done.
whoever
Okay.
has the better dex mod, and if they have the same, then the better score, and if the better score, then you just roll again. Or you.
Okay,
roll
well
yourself.
I have a +2 dex.
Same.
I have 15 dexterity.
I got 14.
Okay.
Okay,
There we go.
so that works out. So I think just need Dave.
11.
Okay. Cool. Okay, I need to roll for some people, so this would be a good time to like bathroom break,
Hey.
grab water, whatever you want. And then in like 5 minutes we'll start combat.
Yeah.
Eat some cheese.
Some cheese.
So, Mistress of the Eyes, is that the BBEG?
It's a great question.
I have written down. So you said, I was like, oh!
What is a BBEG?
Yeah, I was just
Big
about
bad evil guy. The main antagonist of the campaign. So
Who's
the
the
ultimate
BB?
goal you're trying to defeat.
Josh, can I
Do we
talk
know
to you
if like
right
the
now or
shot
no?
landed or no?
You can talk
Or
to
do we
me.
have to
Why?
roll for that? Or he has to roll.
Did I wouldn't have heard, since I'm like outside of a train car, I'm assuming I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, it would probably be muffled, and also there's wind. So you probably didn't hear anything. You did hear a gunshot.
Just making sure.
'Cause gunshots
yeah,
are pretty
yeah.
loud, but
Do we know if that the shot landed, or is that like a later roll once you figure out
so yeah, we're taking that as a prepared action. So
Okay.
at the start of combat, he's going to attack. Because the reasonable assumption I would say with that is, so something you can do in D&D is like ready in action. So like say like, you know, I will shoot if he does this. Stabbing someone is probably a good qualifier for
Yeah, shoot it.
I would have shot. So
Okay, cool.
so yeah, right at the beginning that'll be our example of how an attack goes. But yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have lots of questions since I've obviously never done.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't take long to learn
like-
combat, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
it
like,
seems
Josh
pretty
said, Me
straightforward.
and B are really the only ones who have like played extensively. I'm pretty sure, right, Henry? Because you haven't really played since
I
you
was like, I
left.
thought Henry played.
Nope.
We
Okay.
ran
He played
like
a couple times.
back at
Yeah.
college, and
I mean,
we were
but-
all bad.
Yeah, when I first
Hey,
learned.
I saved a dog.
You killed
But not a cat, so
NPCs.
you're out.
That was
I don't
an
remember you.
accident.
I don't remember you saving a dog. Was it the wolves in the cave?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could have killed that, and I saved that wolf. And then I let him
You didn't
free.
save it. You just didn't kill it. Is that like I could have killed it and I
But
didn't?
then he killed
Does that not
NPCs.
count as
That counts.
But then he
Saving it.
killed
That counts.
NPCs that were trying to put a fire out of the building.
That belonged to a
Weren't you
cult.
some,
They
like,
could have been part of it.
Are you like
No,
some annoying ass bird?
he was an Aarakocra.
Just,
Yeah, no, you all were just so very. It was an Aarakocra, a drow, a dragonborn, and a tiefling, and a like very human heavy like scenario.
Yeah.
Like
Why does
stood
anybody want to
out.
be human? That's boring.
I think
wanna
my
be human
favorite
in
part
real
was when I flew ahead because everyone else was taking forever, and they eventually came to the town to find it on fire, and everyone like shooting at me.
You're like,
And again, this was my first time ever DMing, so I didn't know how to split sessions up like that, how to run two different scenarios, and that was a rough time. I did not want to DM again after that, but now we're almost,
You almost ruined it for her.
but we're now approaching the 2nd year anniversary of this campaign I'm running, so
Hell yeah.
Hey.
yeah.
So
So it doesn't
eventually
ruin
we're
it
gonna
for
pick back up in the cave, right, with the kid we kidnapped.
I don't know about
I
that.
still got my character sheet.
Please, no, please burn it. Oh, we're going
I
to finish
wanted
the
to go back
campaign.
to that tavern and like fuck with that tavern owner.
You already fucked with him enough. Nicole stole from him.
You fucked with her or fucked her?
No, like
No, I
we're
stole
bullied this poor like inn
Okay.
owner.
I just wanted to clarify the scenario.
I don't think they fucked
What was
anybody.
it?
Yeah,
But
Christian kept gathering obvious herbs or something.
normal herbs.
See, I have never again played a character that cares about money at all whatsoever.
Wow.
The next character I played gave away all of their money just because the guy was a dwarf.
Wasn't that the cleric you played? You didn't really like.
Oh no, okay, not the next character, the second player. Next one.
Gotcha.
No, the cleric. Josh? We only played like a handful of sessions there too.
You played a cleric?
That's what I played in Doug's campaign.
Oh, yeah, fuck that game.
Oh, nobody
Which is
liked
why
it.
that's the reason I shunned magic, because I tried playing a cleric and I fucking hated it.
Gotcha. No, healing magic is kind of divine magic. I like arcane a lot because you can do a lot of fun stuff with it.
We're trying it again. I'm playing a warlock.
Yep. You're just gonna do a lot of Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, but well.
I like druids.
See, I don't like druids at all. But I don't know.
They're just a lot to manage. They can do a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't. So I like being DPS. I just like doing a lot of damage. So I prefer, like, Sorcerer is my favorite arcane class to play. Whereas, like, I'm playing a cleric in Strahd right now, and I don't do a lot of damage, so I just make sure I'm there for control and healing.
Did I take a damage spell, even, Josh?
I thought you did.
Oh god.
Which will bring us in nicely because, so to start off combat, we'll go through normal initiative, but we've got a prepared action that'll happen first, which is going to be Tomas's gunshot. So, when you make an attack, most character sheets should have it written out. You roll a d20, and then add the modifiers for that attack, which are usually under something like to hit. And that determines whether or not you hit the enemy. And then if you hit them, you do damage. So,
how do you know if you get hit?
If you get hit, or so, enemies operate under the same rules. So they roll d20s and then add appropriate modifiers. And if their number for attack meets or equals your armor class or AC, then you get hit and you take damage. And so to start things, and so when we're starting things off, we'll have Tomas make an attack with his gun, which I can't remember if the if it let you roll or put down that as a weapon, but. So that is you, Henry.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
So we're into combat, and so we're gonna start off with your attack roll when you fire your gun. So you roll a d20 and then add your appropriate modifiers. I can't remember if it let you put that into your character sheet or not.
Yeah, okay. So just the modifier for the weapon, like the to hit modifier?
Yeah, so under to hit. So you roll a d20 and then add the to hit to it.
Okay. Natural 20. Woo.
Okay.
Wow.
So that'll bring up one of our first home rules. Or home rules.
Yeah,
we're
love
Irish
it.
here. House rules.
Ark, no, don't touch the die.
So normally in a game, when you get a nat 20, you roll the damage dice twice. We're running brutal crits, which essentially means instead of rolling 2 dice, you take one of them to be a maximum. So a musket is what, a d12? Right?
Yeah.
So instead of
nice.
rolling 2 d12, just do 12 plus a d12, and then whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love brutal crits.
Yeah.
15 in total.
Okay. So yeah, he looks real, just absolutely shocked by that. Just blew a chunk out of his midsection.
Fuck.
He's not looking good. And then we'll go into initiative. I have to actually see how.
So real quick, question regarding the rifle. So under properties, it says loading.
Yeah. So loading with that. So it's not like super complex. So loading just means that you can only fire once per fire, essentially. So like a fighter, when they get higher leveled, they can attack multiple times with one attack action. With a musket with loading, because it takes so long to reload, you can only do once. It says, even if you can attack multiple times per action. So it's not relevant for an artificer. You can just ignore it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melina just muted Nicole.
That's hilarious.
Melina's like, no talking for you.
Absolutely none. Now let me see how I can. Oh, it's already at top. Okay, there we go. So then we start we start at top of initiative. The person with the highest initiative is Sarai.
Me.
So
What do I do?
So combat has broken down into basically a number of different actions.
Okay.
So there are three main actions that you get one of per turn by default. So there's your movement action. So you can move up to your movement speed, which is usually 30 feet per turn. Each cube is 5 feet. And that's separate from every other action. The other one is an action. Usually an action is used to make an attack. You can do a few other things with that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And then there's bonus actions, which are things you can do for free without spending anything on like an action.
What do you mean
like
spending?
So every turn, spending just means using, I guess.
Okay.
So like in a given turn, I could move 30 feet. I could then like say some classes have like say like you can use a bonus action to dash, or take like a potion with a bonus action, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then use my action to make an attack.
Okay.
And the move action can be done in any order, meaning like, so you could move 10 feet, shoot use a spell, and then move another 10 feet. So you can use that, like you just have 30 feet to spend in any order, kind of thing.
Okay. And so in this cart, are there just the two people that are hidden but not hidden?
That you're aware of.
That we know, that we're aware of? Okay.
Yes.
And so I move first?
Yes.
Okay, then I will take out my short sword.
Yep.
And move towards I don't know what this thing is. The gang member.
Yeah. So you can move anywhere. We'll assume that, for all intents and purposes, normally this will be like a different rule with like terrain, but to keep it simple, we'll just say you can move, up to 30 feet in squares.
Okay. Oh,
And
okay.
to do an actual melee attack against an enemy, you have to be in a square that's adjacent to them.
Yeah. So
the squares do matter.
Most weapons,
yes, they do matter.
Most weapons can only hit somebody within 5 feet that are melee. Some ranged weapons can go for a distance, and then there are certain weapons that'll do that. What will be probably recommended is so like you started here. So
I would be like move here, right?
So you could either move like here or like I would say here. Or wait, let's see, 5, 10, 15.
Well, I assume like this was stuff in a way.
So since we're assuming like no movement speed lost, I mean you could hypothetically get over to that corner. I apologize, I didn't see that. Because there is one other thing. This doesn't impact your movement over there, because you can get over there without leaving contact. But so once you make contact with an enemy, so like you've now touched this gang member.
Yeah.
If you tried to move away from him, he and his friend, because they're both touching you, would have the ability to take attacks against you as you move away, unless you make an action to stop that. So that's
To disengage.
To disengage, yeah.
Okay, and we're assuming that the guy's dead, the one that got his hole blown through him.
No,
No,
he is still up. He is still. When he's dead, I will remove him from the map.
Oh, okay. Well,
so
then
he's-
JK then.
Okay, so you're back here.
Yeah, I assumed he
That
was dead.
makes
So
sense.
we
I was a
only know
little
he's
like-
dead.
I was a little like, why? But
Well, you said a hole got blown right through his abdomen,
He's
and
not-
like
he's not
typically that
looking-
means like
he's not looking good. But he's alive.
And only
Okay.
seconds are passing. So like each turn someone takes is 6 seconds in
Okay.
game time.
Okay,
And then a whole round is 1 minute.
gotcha. Okay, well then
So
I
we can
think
have like 10 rounds. No, I think I have that right. Yeah, but no, you can have like a few rounds in game. And it takes like hours in real time, but game time is only like a few seconds.
okay. Okay, so no, so he's not dead. So I
Right.
actually move forward towards him, and I use my short sword, and then like hold it up against his neck.
Okay. So to make an, are you attacking him with it, or are you just holding it? up
No, I
against
was
his
gonna see like what he wanted,
neck? So
or
you're.
what his plan was.
So what do you say to this cult leader when you hold the sword up to him?
Oh, so the whole thing, he just killed Reginald, trying to get back into the scene.
Yes, he did kill Reginald.
I guess it's just like, I don't know, like this
Why
didn't
did you
go
go
how
with
you
the
planned.
Warforged?
Do you,
This
do you
didn't
want
go
to
how
be
you planned. Why do you
intimidating?
want the
Do you wanna-
Warforged?
So what were you asking?
So what do you want with the Warforged?
Are you just asking that like a flat question?
What are my other options?
Well, I mean, so like you could try to, because you are holding a sword to him.
Yeah.
If you were to try to like, it's essentially
Like
a difference between a persuasion and an intimidation check.
Oh no, so I would try to intimidate.
Yeah.
Like-
So go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Okay. And then where do I just say what the number is, or do I add anything?
So on your character sheet, there should be like under like your list of skills, there should be
Okay.
intimidation.
Intimidation. Okay, 12.
What was that?
I have a 17.
Okay. Roll for you.
High intimidation plus. Go me.
Yeah.
5. Okay.
He'll just kind of give a quick reply. It makes my job easier.
Josh,
Yes.
just before we move on, since you just said something, do you want to explain what readying an action is in case she wants to do that?
So yeah, so because so I wouldn't take you holding a sword up to him as like, an action.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're planning on, waiting to see like what he does,
Mm-hmm.
then readying an action would be a thing to do. So instead of using your turn to, or instead of using your action to like stab him right now,
Right.
you could say like, I will ready an attack against him if he,
Okay.
becomes hostile.
If he signal.
Or like if
Gotcha.
he is going to try and attack us. And until
Okay.
the start of your next turn, like if your conditions are met, you'll carry out that action.
Okay.
So like if he
So-
goes to stab you, you'll also get an attack against him.
Can it be like if he goes to attack me, or if he signals one of the other people to go and attack, or is it just
right.
like
So
I
it
can
could be
only
like
do-
if
Okay.
hostilities aim to continue.
If hostility
like,
is okay,
Yeah.
great. I'll do that. I'll ready the action to do that because I assume then that means my turn's over.
yeah.
Okay.
Which moves us down to Tomas.
I am going to draw my dagger and try and move in closer to that first guy, the guy who I shot.
Gotcha.
And then, where is my? All right, so my speed is 30 feet, so I'm guessing I can get close enough to attack him with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already moved you forward.
Okay.
Because each square is going to be 5 feet, right, Josh?
Each square is going to be 5 feet. Yeah.
Good to know.
Just making sure. That's what I thought, but
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
the
know.
dimensions of the car are kind of funky. Normally, maps that I steal have built-in hexes or squares, but there aren't a lot of good lightning rail maps. But
Fine.
so what'd you get?
yeah,
So
I
I
wonder
got
if it's
a-
like, yeah.
I got a 13.
That'll hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
Uh, 3.
Okay. He's still not looking great. I think you're able to see his. You won't be able to see. I don't think you're able to see his like HP, but I think you can see his condition on the initiative tracker.
We can.
Yeah, he is looking very not good. And
Where do you see that?
so on the have you clicked on like the 2 swords at the top right?
Not even a little bit.
So if you click on that, it brings up a combat tracker, and that follows the initiatives of everyone in the party.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
So Sarai, I would probably take your friend moving up and stabbing him as an indication that hostilities are not over.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to, you can go ahead and spend your action to attack.
Well, he already stabbed him, so like I feel
mean,
like I don't need to do anything.
He is still alive.
I know, but I want to kill him yet. I mean,
Okay.
I'll save it for like the other people.
Fair enough.
We'll save the murdering for.
So then we're on Dave. You just heard a gunshot from 1 train away.
Ave.
Okay.
I go, holy shit, did you hear that? And then I'm going to double move towards the door because I'm assuming I'm not going to have.
there.
So I'm going to double move to, like, right before
You said
you
you were
hop over.
assuming. So you
you are
are
behind
assuming what?
Watcher.
He's moving right behind Watcher. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a good example. So one of the things that most players can do as an action instead of attacking is dashing. So normally your movement speed is like 30 feet, but you can spend your action to run an additional distance equal to your movement.
Oh, okay.
So
instead of getting to, shoot somebody or swing a sword, you go, I'm going to move a little bit further.
exactly.
Sense.
Anything else with your turn?
When I get there, I yell, what's going on?
Gotcha.
Well, do I need to roll for a perception? Like,
you can pretty easily
see what's
tell.
going on, or is it pretty
Reginald,
plain?
Watcher, did you open the door when combat started?
No.
Okay, well then, when Watcher will be able to answer on her turn, I guess then. Since she cannot see through the door currently, because there is a Warforged in the way.
Yeah.
That
I'm
brings
tiny
us-
though.
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
assuming you're
small.
looking through
But I'm assuming the window's
glass.
not that big.
All right, I'm going to.
I mean, okay.
That's just my if you don't think that you're looking through the window, you can.
I mean, my head's gonna be there, but does my head take up the whole window?
It's not like a huge window. It probably covers up most of the
Okay.
major business, I think.
That's
Either
fair.
way, you'll be able to answer
you're
on
God.
your turn. So yeah, what are you doing?
You're God.
Erovan?
I'm going to make my way over these crates to these guys.
Okay.
And I'll roll to attack this gang member.
Alright.
And then I'll get to use bonus action with this. I'm attacking with my scimitar.
Why do you get to use a bonus action?
So it's a double-bladed scimitar. So it's like 2 attached to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's said in the book, how they fight, it's like you're spinning it. So you hit with one blade, and then you spin a hit with another.
It's
Okay.
Darth Maul as a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picturing.
All right, first one is going to be 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Bonus action is 18 to hit.
That will also hit.
Awesome. Alright, it's 12 damage.
Okay, you just cut that guy down.
Hell yeah!
You
He had
just
a
slice him
family.
right up. Anything else with your
Alright.
turn?
I'll move down the crates towards this guy,
Okay,
and then that's it.
Watcher, it's your turn.
So I will turn around, look to Dave, and be like, a red hooded man came and stabbed the train steward. And then I will
Oh, Watcher's
go
watching!
down to Prince Orgev and
He left.
whisper in my... He left?
You left.
Well, why is he... Oh, I was like, why is he still here then?
No, Elena asked where you went.
I couldn't see. I like.
yeah, I left. So I will whisper in his ear, that there was a hostile disturbance in the next train car over.
Okay,
You might have heard the gunshot.
is that your turn?
Yep.
Excellent. All
I
right.
keep forgetting guns are in this. They're so loud. Whatever. I still did that.
Okay. So with that, a lot of noise comes out as several more gang members show up.
Oh god.
And round the corner.
Yeah, she didn't see that coming. No.
Let's see.
Just keep spinning.
The one touching Arovan is gonna make an attack with his one-bladed scimitar.
Oh.
It is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
That is 4 slashing damage.
Alright.
I don't know if you're able to enter in wound damage into this, but
I don't think we can edit anything.
okay, I'll look into seeing how you can do that.
But yeah, no. But that drops me to 8 hit points.
Okay. So
yeah, Josh, you don't even have my HP in there if it matters.
I thought I did. Oh shit, I don't. What's your HP?
10.
Thought I put it in. Okay. It matters just for my records. You guys are welcome to keep HP track on your own character sheets. This one's at least a little nice just because I get to see who's where, without asking how everyone's doing health-wise. The gang leader is going to make a melee attack against Tomas, because he shot him. And that will be 16 to hit.
That hits.
Oh god, you only have 7 HP.
That's okay, because he does 2 damage.
Okay.
Oh, I accidentally made you neutral. These guys are just gonna kind of start filling in. And that will be their turn. And so we are down to, oh right, at the bottom of the initiative, because I haven't rolled for them. I guess I'll just roll for all of the these guys going forward. Well, they're in the same initiative anyway, so they're in the same spot they would be. So with that, so with Watcher whispering in to his ear, Orgev is gonna say, well, we should rally back to the ranks then, boys. And he's gonna fall back here along with all of the other notables, as well as this noble, who is still, no one has asked his name.
We don't care about him.
Yeah, exactly. The Warforged are going to essentially just be frontline for them. I guess this guy will dash and just get over here. And that'll be their turns. So we're up to Sarai.
I guess then I everybody's so I guess we're just trying to kill them all. So then I slash.
I mean, you do whatever you want. You can grapple him if you want.
Okay. Yeah, can I do that with the
so
whole
we
take
don't-
hostage?
you don't-
Yeah, I was like, I want to take him hostage against
That's it.
for the
And you can communicate like by shouting in combat to the rest of us, "Don't kill this one," and you can grapple him.
Okay.
And
Okay, I shout,
Yeah.
kill the others. I'll keep him.
okay. But then,
You taking
yeah,
the
that,
gang
I'll just
leader
shout, kill the
down?
others.
yeah, she's
And I
removing
say,
him
and
out.
I take gang leader dude. Yeah, I take gang leader dude hostage.
Okay, so you're attempting to grapple him?
Yeah.
Okay, so
What do I
go
roll?
ahead. You'll want to make an athletics check?
And then what do I? Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think I do very well.
So that was a 10?
Yeah.
Okay, he nat 20'd.
Oh!
Which, if there's anything for them to roll nat 20 on, the grapple check's pretty good.
Okay.
So, yeah, he tried to reach in and grab him, and he just kind of, like, jerks somewhat violently, and
I was like, hits my hand away.
Yeah, your hands get knocked away.
By still holding his like gaping abdomen.
Yeah, he does have a blood trail that is like slowly seeping down his side. As he's doing so.
She reaches.
Yeah, it's like all
She reaches for
through him.
Yeah, she reaches for his abdomen used to be, but it's still
Yeah,
more.
and then my hand just slips through. No.
Anything else with your turn?
I don't know how much I can do per turn.
Yeah, so at the moment, the action economy is mostly focused on moving and actions.
Yeah.
Bonus actions aren't super useful at the moment, so.
Okay, so I
I
guess
mostly just
nothing.
asked that in case you want to, like, say something or.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But yeah.
I guess I could be like, I could yell at Tomas to try and capture him. Or, I don't have to yell it. I can just gently.
So then, Tomas, it is your turn.
Can I, like, butt stroke him with my gun? Like, not try and kill him, but try and, like, knock him out? Or do I actually have to try and, like, grapple him?
Did you say butt stroke?
Yeah,
Definitely not the word for it.
Wouldn't it be butt strike?
No, it's butt stroke. 100%.
I'm going into a private tab. I'm gonna.
Josh, I don't care if you're looking up butt stroking.
It is in fact the correct term.
No, see, I don't doubt it,
That's
but it's
wild.
called butt stroke.
That's wild to me.
It just feels like you should get your own private room with that.
Like, I think you pay extra.
Yeah, so what I'll say with that is,
Ow!
I'll say go ahead and just make a regular attack with the gun. You're not firing it, but yeah, just go ahead, like, make a regular attack.
Okay.
And then if you...
Because is this what, not like doing non-lethal damage?
Yeah. So this would
What's
be...
that, Josh?
What?
I'm prompting you to explain how you can do and what non-lethal damage is.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, it's essentially what's going on right now. So if you want to keep someone alive as opposed to killing them, you can announce that you're trying to do non-lethal damage, and I believe rules as written is just if you do a normal attack and if you drop them to 0 HP, they are knocked unconscious instead.
Gotcha. Okay. Good to know.
Do you make enemies do death saving throws?
I
Like big
hadn't
ones?
thought about it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Did you what?
So go ahead.
What are death saving throws, Josh? So if you drop down to 0 HP, you roll. You don't get any modifiers unless it's a feat or something, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So when you go down, you drop to whenever you get negative HP. Like you don't just straight up die. You fall unconscious to the ground, and you have to roll a d20, just straight d20 roll. If you get a, is it 10 or higher?
Yeah.
10 or higher.
Yes.
If you get a 10 or higher, it counts as a success. If you get a 1 through 9, it counts as a failure. If you get a 1 it counts as a double failure, and a 20 instantly stabilizes you. Is that correct?
I've always run it as the opposite of a 1, so you get 2 successes, and you have to make a 3rd.
That's how I've always seen it too.
Okay, good to know then. So yeah, a success counts as 20 counts as 2 successes, 1 counts as 2 failures. If you pass success, if you succeed 3 times, then you stabilize, you go to 0 HP, and you aren't in danger of immediately dying. If you fail 3 times, they're dead.
And
you can be resurrected.
You can.
Okay, I don't want to die.
Resurrection is so you can either pay someone, because Eberron is a very high magic world. You can often find people that you can pay a relatively ludicrous sum to resurrect somebody.
Expensive.
Or alternatively, when spellcasters get very high leveled, they can cast it for a much smaller fee. There's Revivify. There's still usually a fee involved in the process, like a gem.
I think the lowest spell cost, because there's different levels of reviving spells. The lowest one is 100 gold. A gem worth 100 gold pieces, and the next one up is a gem worth 1,000 gold pieces.
How many do we have?
Well, the other thing I was going to say in regards to that is it's not death saves do or die. People can attempt to stabilize other people.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we'll continue with the action. I'll keep learning. As we go.
It's a lot.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we'll just, have to kind of bring up.
As it comes up, it'll come up.
Yeah.
That was just one big thing I wanted to say, because a lot of people forget about that and don't.
The non-lethal damage.
Saves.
Yeah.
not
mostly
that, but even about stabilizing.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So Tomas, you were making a melee attack, an attack.
18.
I forgot. This all started with the butt stroke.
Yeah, that's how we diverge.
And so then go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, so that is a 12.
I believe you also can add something to it. There should be a...
I'm just seeing 1d12.
Is there a... is it just that there's a 0 next to it?
It just says 1d12 piercing.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what...
So I think typically it's like your...
Because it depends on the weapon. I guess it makes sense that... I mean, there's no real... You can't be stronger at pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
You can't be, dexterously pulling the trigger.
So, any of my weapons, So, my blade, I add my strength to it, so I have a +3 modifier, but, my bow, you add your dexterity, so it's a +2.
I think that might just be how the musket's written, just because, it does more damage, but it is just flat damage.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll double check after the session, trying to find it, but I think that's what it is. So what'd you get on your D12?
I got a 6.
Okay.
When I butt stroked him.
That will be enough. You just pop him right on the side of the head, and he just falls down to the ground. We will mark that as him.
Dying.
Well, you know.
Yeah, he does. He is missing his abdomen,
I'll
so
He will
make
die.
him sideways.
he will die eventually.
He does not have long, but he is now unconscious and no longer in combat. Anything else you're aiming to do?
I mean, what else can I do? I can move and...
Yeah, so you can move and you have, if there is anything to do a bonus action with, but I don't know that you do.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Sounds good. Then we are up to Dave. Watcher immediately flew away from you. And, oh wait, she did tell you what was going on. Never mind then.
She did.
Yeah.
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to move forward as far as I can. I'm not sure like where my limit is
Let's see.
exactly.
So if you're 5, 10, 15, 20... You could probably get anywhere to the same row that the gang leader's at. So anywhere in there.
Okay.
Without taking a dash.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, it's knocked out. Then I'm just gonna move right here. I have to be next to somebody to actually be able to, whack them.
I guess it does depend. I mean, you could theoretically hit somebody with... How far is Dragon Breath go? Because Dragonborn gets a breath attack, as I recall.
I believe it is 30 feet, but in a 5-foot direct line.
So let's see.
I could definitely hit him from here but I feel like I might be blowing my load a little bit early with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Just
always
wanna-
up to you. I'm just saying that is a... Because you're black. Oh yeah, 5 by 30 foot line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to pull out my handed great axe, yell at them, if you don't lay down your weapons, you'll be split in two. So I'm gonna try and intimidate them.
Alright,
But-
go ahead, roll intimidation.
What am I rolling for that?
So that is a d20 plus whatever modifier is next to intimidation on your character sheet.
Oh, good thing I have a -1 in my intimidation.
Ah!
Why are you
It
as
is
a dragon?
roll,
How do you
roll.
have a -1?
Ah,
I
these
will-
weapons!
I will allow you to add your strength modifier to an intimidation roll.
Typically, it's charisma.
Sweet.
Yeah. So rules as written, it's charisma,
And
which
it's
makes
stupid.
sense if you threaten to break someone's bones, but also if you're rippling with muscle mass, I see that as a different means of intimidating.
Exactly.
So yeah, so
dragon,
you can
do you
add
have
your
a
strength
-1?
modifier to the roll.
So I got a 13 and my strength is +3, so 16.
Okay.
And I'm readying my great axe,
Okay.
prepared. If they don't.
In a so something that's not actually, I don't think rules is written, but sometimes when there's things like that I will often reinforce it with just a luck check to just kind of randomly see what happens.
Okay.
But in the second crit of the night, these guys all just kind of
Oh
don't
my god.
seem to notice you.
So
Yeah.
many crits tonight.
They
A lot
don't
of
notice.
crits. Well, they don't really seem to
A
pay
giant fucking
any
dragon.
mind.
Do you have a -1?
Battle hardened.
They seem pretty battle focused, almost kind of eerily so. They don't
Okay,
even
good
seem
to
to notice that their leader's down.
Ooh, they're Warforged.
Oh!
Anything else with your turn, Dave? Dave.
No,
Stop
there's
it.
nothing else I can do.
Cavadito.
I'm just gonna yell, I'm here.
I'm here! Look at me!
Can I say-
Yeah, that's it.
Aren't you glad you finally decided to join us? I just like to throw a little snide there.
Okay.
We know who's going to be throwing shade all campaign now.
Uh,
All right, I'm just gonna keep slicing. You know,
All right.
I'm gonna attack the guy right in front of me. Same thing. Attack with both blades. Is a 20, not nat for the first one.
All right.
Bonus action. 18.
Both will hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
Oh, got all fours. Hell yeah. So 15.
Okay. Yeah, just like the last one, you're walking through bodies at this point. That is another one dead.
Hell yeah.
Another
And then
one
I'll,
bites the dust.
you know, I'm gonna move forward. Keep advancing.
I think I forgot to kill these guys.
All that work she did.
And then this one. There we go. Okay. And that was your turn?
Yes.
Then
Yeah,
run
move
the
forward
Watcher.
5 more feet.
So Watcher, it's you.
Okay. Can I ready a dash or no?
So meaning like, what do you
Can
mean?
I ready a dash for if someone hostile walks towards the door?
Yes, I guess. So like you're gonna run back if someone gets close to you.
You're gonna run at
I
them.
mean, you can phrase it that way, I guess, or you can
So-
phrase it I'm going to try to save the nobles if someone hostile tries to leave.
Fair. Fair. There are many ways of phrasing this. You're correct. Okay.
That is what I would like to do.
That is your turn. Then it is gang member time. One of them is going to. He's not going to try to disengage. He's going to try to just walk away. So you're welcome to take an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes,
Always.
he's going to.
Wait, what are we doing?
18.
That'll hit.
So the guy that was standing right next to me
I
moved
see.
away from me. So that means he turned his back to me, and I get to slice at him. It's gonna be 4 damage.
Okay. He takes 4 damage. Let me figure out which one that is. Okay. So yeah, he's not looking great. Like that wound is pretty bad. Doesn't really react super strongly.
Like, are they bleeding like people
they're bleeding.
Okay.
Just
Well, we didn't know if
seemingly-
they like had
Yeah,
human,
so
like if they had like blood or if they were like
yeah, no, it is
Like
red.
oils and oil.
Like yeah, like.
Okay, yeah.
Josh, I have a technical question related to B's question.
Yes.
So, like on the combat tracker, right? You have like healthy, wounded, dying.
Yes.
What do those mean in terms of like, oh, they're bloodied?
They are thresholds for health. I don't know the percentage cutoffs, but I would be happy to look those up. Out of session, post it in the chat.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
yeah, you would assume that by dying you're well past bloodied. You're probably on like your last quarter of health. That's just my guess.
I have to go with like a D&D question. So like,
So is
if they're wounded, like we still have like they're not like in order to kill them, you still have to do an action. Like they are not gonna like naturally.
Right. So there's
Not
nothing.
in combat.
There's nothing
Okay.
rules as written that means people die of blood loss. There's no long-term damage like that in D&D.
Okay.
So a lot of like, saying this person has his abdomen shot out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hence my earlier confusion.
yeah,
so.
like partially, partially that's just flavor text. I mean, also, if you can find a healer with like a magic healer, they could repair damage like that. So yeah. So there's no rules as written like long-term damage. So yeah, you pretty much have to deplete them down until they're off the map for it to count as a kill.
All right, good to know. Continue.
So he's going to, the one who just got slashed in the back is going to make a melee attack at Dave.
There, they noticed you.
And he will probably miss with a 5 to hit.
And is that my armor?
Yeah, so it's against your armor class, and I assume it's not 4.
It is not.
That is
It is a tad higher.
Melina, do you want to eat your own food?
This one will move down in between the two of you, and will again attack at Dave.
For them not
When I
noticing
said
you.
earlier that I had my battle axe ready, does that mean I get to hit one of them now, or I still have to wait for my turn?
Did you say that you were readying an action to attack them?
He did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he did.
Yeah,
Last
sorry.
time when I moved
I might
forward,
have misheard. So yeah, when the first one stepped in close, you can make an attack against him. So even if he did hit, if you kill him here,
Okay.
it wouldn't have mattered.
Sweet. And that is just a D.
So that is a D20 plus. There should be a to hit under your great axe. I'm gonna remove these ones.
Oh. I'm not seeing it. Hold on.
Do you have
It will
did you add, like, in your attacks, did you add your weapon there?
No, I
Or I guess, are you using
didn't, but I had looked at a website. So it's
It will also it's your strength modifier
yeah,
plus
so it's
your
1d12
proficiency.
slashing.
Or so you should roll a D20 and then add.
Oh,
So roll a
Add your-
D20
the
and
to
then
hit?
add 2 plus your strength modifier.
Mm-hmm.
oh 20 then, not natural.
Not
but
natural. Okay, roll damage.
20 with everything.
Yep.
The D12. Right.
Yeah.
And it should still be
Ooh, got a
1d12
10.
plus something.
Got a 10. Yeah. So that just between the slash and the back, and
Doesn't
you
matter.
just overhand chop him right in the shoulder, and he just crumples down. And he is dead as well.
Man, I tried to warn him.
The second guy who walked up rolled a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
I have 11 armor.
He will do.
Your AC's 11?
Yeah, I was like, your armor's super low.
That's lower than. Hold on, Josh. Can we need to check and make sure that's right?
Yeah, it
Because
might
mine's
be wrong.
13.
What kind of armor do you have? Or does it say in your?
I don't think I had.
Let me see.
It didn't say, but if I get to pick, I'm just gonna go with light armor.
You're a fighter. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fighters get either chainmail or leather at the beginning.
Yeah, so it's either chainmail or leather armor. Chainmail is obviously stronger, but leather also gives you a longbow. But chainmail would give you an AC of 16.
Yeah, you'd be with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with chainmail.
Okay, then that attack misses.
Okay.
There is still. Oh, there's one more. It's gonna attack. Oh, hi fan. A Roven. That will be 22.
That doesn't hit.
A joke.
And that will be 4 damage.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, no, my AC is 13.
I mean,
okay. Down to 4 HP. But I have second wind, so I'm about to use that.
Okay. That's all of their turns. All right, gang leader, saving throw.
Ow!
He passes.
Ow!
So he is still unconscious, but Sarai.
Okay. I move towards the gang leader that's closest to me. I don't know if they don't have numbers. and I stab at him with my
All right.
sword.
Roll to hit.
And that's the D20?
Yep.
And then, oh, fudge. Okay, and then do I add anything or no?
Yeah. So your weapon should say what it has to hit.
Where that is.
It's D&D Beyond, so it should say it somewhere pretty plainly.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Low 7.
Yeah, that will miss.
Yeah. I am not doing great, y'all. But I'm pretty.
Yes.
As we go to Tomas's turn, Watcher, you do hear the sound of breaking glass very faintly
And can I tell in which direction?
behind you.
Oh god.
Okay.
All right, I want to shoot the guy closest to me.
All right, roll to hit.
Hang on, I lost my die. Take it. I got a natural 1.
Okay.
Damn.
You fire off your bullet and it just goes whizzing right past the cultist.
Well,
So do you not make, Josh, do you not make like bad things happen on a nat 1?
I usually don't roll with fumbles. At
Okay.
least not in most circumstances. If it's a case like in combat, I don't usually view it as very fun to be like, LOL, you shoot your foot.
But
But if it's something like, I don't know, like you try to talk to an NPC and you like roll a nat 1, like he's gonna be a little bit more against the idea than he would have been if he rolled like a 9.
Okay.
But assuming nothing else, that brings us to Dave with Arovan on deck.
Andrew
I think
unmuted.
he's frozen. Oh, nope. Maybe not.
He's also muted.
Yeah, I was. I was frozen for a moment, but I'm back. I'm going to move up to. Can I move to right here?
So because you were
Not
touching,
too far.
so because you were touching this guy on the corner, he would have an opportunity attack against you. That one that's diagonal to you.
Oh, okay. Can I just hit him while he's, even though he's at my diagonal?
Yeah. So anyone touching you, like any of the squares around you, you can hit with a melee attack.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna take my great axe and take a swing at him
Alright, roll to
with
hit.
it. And that was a 3, so I'm assuming fucking missed him.
Yeah, that will
We're
that
all fucking miss things.
will not hit, unfortunately.
Mm.
Then we're on to Arovan.
Alright, I'm going to first off bonus action cast Second Wind so I can heal a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll heal a D10 plus 1. So I get 6 more hit points back. God, because I was about to die. Alright, so I'm sitting at 10. And then I'm just going to attack again on the guy in front of me. That will be a 21.
That will hit.
Nine damage.
That will bring him down again as you just are on a rampage with these guys.
No, good things.
Yeah.
With somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it for my turn.
And that brings us over to Watcher.
Ah. Hold on a second.
As you turn around and move into the car,
Oh, okay.
Oh!
two of these are inside the cart.
Oh.
And they
That's
are
awesome.
standing over the bodies of the silver-haired passengers who are hunkered at the back.
Are they dead?
Oh my god. Okay. Panic. Okay, so did I only need to go this far to see this?
Yes.
Okay, then I would have not continued going as far as I had put myself. So that would have been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I will go into this car. And announce there's danger near the nobles.
Alright.
And then that was.
Okay, is that your turn?
I mean, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna take a dash to continue moving, but yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Gang members. Last one left. That's conscious. Well, I guess first off, death save for the other guy. Passed again. He's on 2 passes. And then the last one standing is gonna take a swipe at the scimitar-wielding maniac who's currently drenched in the blood of his companions.
You know.
He will miss with a 5.
Oh,
My God.
And
I'm unstoppable.
A lot of missing. The sloppy
That is all of the
swordplay.
gang leaders' turns.
I'm a little too slick with the blood, you know?
The Warforged move in over here. I think only Watcher can see this, but okay, that's 1 hit at okay. Okay. They both swing out with both. So both of these Warforged have had their arms replaced with long swords. They both swing with both of their hands. Each one only hits once on one of the monsters inside the car, and they both are not looking great. But that is their turn. Ryger at this point is lounging against one of the cars.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kulberkin
Okay.
takes out a.
What are those things? No. Keep going. Sorry.
Kulberkin is one of the. So the prince is hiding, or Orgev. Kulberkin levies a pistol against the far car and fires it off. The bullet whizzes through a window.
Who was he aiming at?
He was aiming at one of the monsters at the end of the car.
Okay.
Yes. He was not aiming at anyone else.
Make it sure.
But that is.
Wait,
all
who
of
did
their
that?
turns.
Sorry.
That was so. Ryger is just sipping alcohol against the
Yes.
in the car. Kulberkin took out a flintlock pistol and fired it, but it went wild. The others are just kind of standing there, a bit in shock, not certain what to do. So then we're to Sarai. There is one cultist who is unconscious, seemingly stable, and the other one is still up and just missed an attack against your companion.
Okay, how far can I go?
You can go up to 30 feet. You are in contact with an enemy.
Okay.
You
So I
can-
guess it's like,
You can
Should
risk
I-
a
'cause-
disengage attack.
yeah,
but-
because that's what I was wondering. If I like head back towards the cart,
So another thing
the
you can do
nobles.
is you can take one of the actions you can take is disengage.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of attacking, you essentially just make extra sure that you don't leave open any weaknesses as you turn to run.
Okay, I would do that. Like I disengage and turned around to go back towards the nobles.
Okay. So then you can move up to your movement speed, which is 30 feet, I assume.
And so that would bring me into like what part?
You'd be between the carts.
Yeah. So you could be
Can I
like
use the double dash or whatever what it's called?
So dashing requires an action, which you spent to disengage.
Okay. So I'm just
Yeah.
here hanging.
Yep. That your turn?
I mean, that's a bit of a bummer, but yeah.
Yeah. So that brings us to these kind of horrific looking monsters, who are going to attack at the Warforged. Let me find their. Aha. I need my other d20. So 2 of those are going to attack, are going to hit.
And they are unidentified creatures, like we have no idea what they are.
When it's your turn, we can have you roll. But oh, that's right, my d8's missing. Forgot about that.
I can roll one for you. No? Okay.
Ridiculous.
I want your help.
Exactly.
Yeah, clearly.
Oh, wait. Okay, so one of them, because I don't know how much you've looked at that image that I shared, but it's gotten
Well,
many
it went
hands.
away, and now I don't know how to get back to it.
It may be shared with you, but I'll share it again. Those aren't the weapons that it has in its hands. It has so instead of a shield, it has a oh wait, hold on. Yeah. So it has a spear that it's holding in 2 hands, and then a morning star and a crossbow. One of them just absolutely shreds apart one of the Warforged. Just breaking it into pieces. And then the other one hits once and does a fair bit of damage. Where is the other one? Does a fair bit of damage to it, but that's going to be their turns. So then we are moving on to next in the initiative, which will be Tomas.
Are we aware of what's going on at the other end of the other car?
Watcher told us there was
Watcher
something.
told us, which is why I headed back.
Okay.
Yeah, Watcher
Okay.
told you there was danger with the nobles.
And there's just the one guy left conscious in our car, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's one gang member.
Yeah, so I hide.
Okay. So I'm gonna head back to, and then take a shot at the 4-armed guys.
All right.
How far can he get, B?
Yeah, that's what I was like. How?
Oh,
I think so.
I can get 30
Can
feet.
Yeah, I think that's far, and I think that's a distance you can get.
yeah, that's 30.
Okay. And then the range is
40, 120 is what it
Yeah.
says. I don't know what that means, but
so it's outside of your short range. So the 40 is essentially your normal attack range. So you can attack within 120 feet. So they're between 40 and 120. So it'll give you disadvantage on the shot, But yeah, you can take a
So
shot.
you're also shooting through all these people.
Yeah. So yeah, I would also say that. So disadvantage is just you roll twice and you take the lowest number.
Okay.
Advantage is the opposite. You roll twice and take the highest. And there are many opportunities where you can get advantage or disadvantage on things.
Alright, so I got a 19 and a non-natural 20.
Okay. So either way that would hit. So go ahead and roll damage against which one of the two are you shooting at? Both of them have been hit, so they're about as badly damaged.
Whichever one just took down the
Okay.
our guy.
So the one on the right. Gotcha.
Yeah, unidentified creature number 1. Okay, which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah. 12.
Okay. Yeah. So
Nice.
that
I like this gun.
the bullet just rips right through his midsection, and he just topples to the ground. And that is
Me.
That is him. So then we're on Dave.
So was he shooting at the things at the bin with me right now?
He was shooting at the monsters in the bottom car.
And the other car. You're
Okay.
still in the top credit.
I'm gonna say to Irvin, you run back, and then I'm gonna try and cut this guy's head off again with my big ol' axe. And for the D20, I just got a 12. Do I add anything to that again?
So for the attack roll,
Mhm.
so it'd be 12
Yeah.
plus your strength modifier plus 2.
So
17.
Okay, that'll hit. So go ahead, roll damage.
Woohoo!
Hey, fine.
Wait, and then 1d12. I got an 11, believe it or not.
Okay. How do you want to kill this guy?
I'm just gonna try and cut his head clean off.
Okay. Yeah, you do so. You take a great horizontal swing and you just, seemingly no effort, detach his head from his neck. And that is the last of the gang members.
Scary.
And that brings us to Aroven.
So, do you count diagonal movement as only 5 feet, or do you do the grid base?
So the way I've done it in the past has been the first diagonal is 5 and the second one is 10. The third
Gotcha.
one's back to 5 and it alternates.
Okay. I'll take my...
It alternates? I thought it. Oh my gosh. I thought it increased every time. I've been doing that so wrong. Besides the point.
Well.
It's just to counterbalance the fact that the diagonal is technically more distance than a horizontal.
No, literally the way I've always done it is 5, 10, 15. And so I try to take as little diagonals as possible.
That's absolutely insane.
Well, now you can improve your gameplay. Okay, I'll take that first diagonal and have my dash action. Oh dear God. All right.
Yeah, it's if there was one thing I could change about Roll20, well, first it'd be connectivity, but second would be the panning. Changing that to right mouse would be phenomenal.
I lost count. Oh my God, 5. Let's make it there. Okay. All right, and yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. Watcher.
Okay, so I guess first things first is, do I have any idea what these creatures are?
Let's see. I will say, give me either insight or history.
Okay. I'm gonna need you to move, Cal. I'm sorry. Rough. Yeah, that's a 7.
Which check were you going for?
Insight.
Okay. This thing looks like two things mashed together. It doesn't look right.
Okay. Sorry.
And I'll just take that
Okay.
as normal. Like, that's not an action.
Okay. Oh shoot! I was hoping not. Okay. So then, with my action, okay, I've never done magic before, but I would like to try insinuation, which requires a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, let me look this up.
I have
Make the
it.
monsters look
You
real dumb.
unleash a torrent of conflicting desires in the mind of one creature, impairing its ability to make decisions. They must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be incapacitated, and at the end of each turn, it takes 1d12 psychic.
Okay. He will roll whiz. I'm assuming the DC is not 4. So he would
No, but so it's yeah, okay. So he fails. Okay, so he's incapacitated.
He's incapacitated.
And then at the end of its turn, it'll take some damage, but
Okay.
and then it can make another wisdom save at the end of its turn.
Okay. Is that it for your turn?
Yes.
Gang leader's the only one left of that group. He will roll. He will pass with a 10. He is now fully stabilized. And so then we're down to Warforged Soldier 1, who is just going to, I guess, just going to attack the monster.
Would he have advantage? Because he's
I don't believe
incapacitated?
it
I don't know. I don't know
says
what
so for it.
incapacitated is.
Incapacitated just means can't take actions or reactions.
Okay. Okay, I was just didn't check it. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, that was fair. Yeah. Had to double check that one. So he's going to attack twice with his arm blades. He's going to hit once and deal.
Very good soldiers.
I know. Like, what the hell? He cheaped out.
Yeah, Eberron is a far better bodyguard.
And that'll actually be enough to kill it.
Yay!
Stabs it right through the throat as it's on the ground. And it kind of just gibbers to itself.
Ew.
As it thrashes about for a couple seconds and then dies.
So now we're both dead?
Yep, they're both dead. And for all intents and purposes, combat is now over. So you can now move and do your actions outside of initiative.
Alright, I'm gonna move up here to check on
I will
the
just go and
Orga.
sit.
Oh, sorry, I grabbed your
I will go and.
Get out of my way.
I
was gonna say, can I pick up this guy and carry him back to the other car with me?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like,
I
I know
just
he's
go
a
and
no,
sit
but
back
he's
down.
pretty fucked up. So
Can I do
Yeah.
like perception? Like, how do I figure out? Like, how do I like be able to like kind of perceive things, especially to see that like Ryger didn't give a crap.
So I mean, like looking around, you can kind of just tell that pretty easily. You will see that Ryger is just kind of still lounging. Seems to have just been unreacted to all of it. By this point, the other passengers are all kind of stiff. Kolberkin is investigating his pistol, mumbling to himself about how it must have misfired. And then Orgev is kind of just hesitantly walking up to the wreckage of this battle scene.
I'm gonna follow him.
So I move up to where I'm at, and then I still have him on my shoulder.
I forgot that I have to move that guy,
Yeah. I just say kind of to everybody, mainly the nobles, and go, this guy seems like he was in charge. What do you want me to do with him?
Orgev just kind of gestures to you guys. Well, you're my living god at this point.
Sarai, you had ideas for him, didn't you?
Well, only because when he initially attacked, he said it would make his job easier. So it was more trying to like see who hired him. Or I guess
something about the
really. It was more to
eyes.
see. It was more to like, but he's unconscious right now, right? It was more to see like what his job was. So not even like who hired him, but more it's like, was his job to take out the prince or just to...
We can heal him back up and interrogate him.
Seems like he was a distraction.
Oh yeah, can we hear him? Heal him? Yeah, or distract. Yeah, what was he? Because he didn't ask for the prince, he asked for the...
Okay.
So how do I heal? Who heals him? I don't know how to do that.
You have to have healing spells.
I don't have that.
I don't know.
And who cares about healing him? He's awake.
Shit,
right?
I just realized we didn't have.
So
he
he
would
is
be
unconscious.
He's unconscious.
But stable.
So he's not gonna die on us.
He does
like,
regain hit points. I mean, like, you could slap him awake.
Slap him awake, Ange. Or Dave.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. He might be a bit delirious, because, I mean, he did get a lot of...
Could I, attempt to make a screaming noise in his ear?
Okay.
Yes.
like a just non-magic, just scream in his ear?
No, like a minor illusion, have a screaming noise right next to his ear.
Okay.
To try to wake him up.
You're doing this while Dave is holding him?
If Dave's holding him, sure. Because people are talking about how they want to wake him up and interrogate him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unless you've put him down, Dave, you also you don't really know where it's coming from, but about 6 inches in front of you, there is a pretty goddamn loud scream.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of toss him to the ground in the middle of everybody and put my hands on what I assume would be my ears and just go, what the fuck is that? I don't know if dragons have ears. We got like the little hole. Oh, really?
I got nothing.
Wake up.
Watcher, no response to that? Just not acknowledging it.
I have no response to that, no.
Okay. Well then, go ahead, just roll me a
It
flat.
goes for 1 minute unless he wakes up. That is the only reason I would stop it.
Unless you just... Oh. So it's just gonna keep screaming.
Unless he wakes up. Because I'm doing minor illusion.
Right. Just roll me a flat d20.
Four.
He seems to be unconscious.
Can I
Okay.
like patch him up slightly just so he is able to wake up and be lucid?
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
How do I do that?
So it's the same as a normal ability check. There is a skill called medicine.
Yeah. So just a d20?
Yep. D20 plus whatever is next to medicine.
I think you're gonna need a really big patch. You're gonna need a blanket.
12.
stuff in there.
Okay. Well, as an artificer, you've got some semblance of knowledge of how the body works. For the most part, you kind of just rip some cloth off of some of the fallen and just wrap it around his torso.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He's like
He has a gaping abdominal
he's
wound.
a gaping wound.
You can see through him. The fact that he's stabilized is a miracle.
I'd like to think where the
Can't see
wound is
through
would be
anymore. I
like
put a
right
blanket
where I
over
put
it.
him on my shoulder. It's just like
Hook your arm through it.
Yeah, that's how you held him up.
Yeah.
You're like
So yeah, between all of this, I'll say that his eyes
dark.
very briefly flicker to life.
How you doing, bud? I don't say that. I'm still by organs.
I asked, has anybody ever seen a creature like this before? And gesturing towards the two dead creatures.
Can I roll like a nature check to see if I've seen anything like that in the war?
Sure.
Okay. Or history, whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not gonna be good. 8.
So in the war, so you've heard things.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the war's got all sorts of weird shit. There was an entire army, or an entire nation that, relied mostly on undead.
Mhm.
And you have heard stories that might match up with this. Just kind of horrible things that lead into, it's often referred to as Kyber. Which Kyber is a big part of the founding
That's like
mythology of Cor-
That's like the
of Eberron.
Underdark, isn't it? Basically.
Yeah, very similar. It's essentially the demi-planes that exist in the center of Eberron.
Okay.
So
Hazel,
there,
stop.
so there have been things that it may match up with this. You don't know if it's just soldiers talking nonsense or, what any of it is, because, people are always willing to believe in nonsense.
Gotcha.
But
One
So
second.
is that guy awake?
yes, his eyes have. He doesn't seem like. He's not gonna have as full of a conversation as when he was not
Oh.
shot, but his eyes are open.
All right, I'm gonna ask him who he works for, or rather, since I know that, who the mistress of the eyes is.
Yeah.
The mistress. Is he kind of like blood kind of spurting a little bit out of his mouth? The mistress of the eyes. She sees all.
That's not what I asked, and I stick my gun in his wound and sort of push on it.
I was gonna say just maybe a finger, but
I can make this hole bigger.
The eyes, always watching, always seeing.
I push harder still.
He kind of continues to just scream nonsense about eyes. Always unblinking, always watching.
Does he seem like kind of crazy? Like he's not very lucid?
Right,
seems-
yeah, does he seem like the ravings of a madman, or this is like he makes sense, we just don't know what the eye is?
Both of you roll an insight check.
Hazel, hang on. Hazel just like ruined my character sheet. It's fine. It's not fine, but whatever. 20, not nat. That's her like a baby. She's eating my hair.
Are you bouncing her?
It's
Because
tasty.
she likes to be house.
What'd you get, Sarah?
I got a 13, not natural.
Okay. So both of you, Rovan especially, you kind of see like it might be partially blood loss and having a gun shoved into his gaping
The
wound.
pain, yeah.
But it also kind of seems like there is, he may be speaking somewhat out of a fear for these eyes. It's hard to say.
But I have the sense that we're not really going to get decent information out of him.
He's kind of mad by this point.
All
Would
right.
I have any idea what the eyes are?
Roll an insight check.
Sorry, I was in the
I
bathroom,
will-
so I didn't have my microphone on.
I will go up to Tomas and kind of like, okay, I don't think this is working, causing him more pain. He's not making sense right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I say, well, can I, as Walter figures it out, can I say, well, that's not creepy, and then go up to Ryger, is that his name, right?
Yeah.
Ryger, and be like,
Ryger, whatever you want.
yeah, you don't seem freaked out by any of this. You ever heard of the eye?
I did get a 12 for what it's worth.
Okay. Heard of the eye? No. But you all seem like very capable people. It's very easy to relax when there's no real threat.
Would I be able to? One, would I be able to hear him?
Yes. And also with a 12.
Oh, okay.
With a 12 for
I have
insight.
another question after you.
Yeah. Not particularly. No.
How do you do insight?
You about as confused as everybody. But sorry, what was that?
How do I do insight? I want to do that too.
So yeah, roll a d20 and then add whatever's next to insight.
Okay.
So for the most part, a lot of D&D is just 20s.
Yeah.
But what was that?
All right, I got a 12 too.
Okay.
Can I search this guy?
Yeah.
Like, see if there's anything in his room.
Let me check his pockets. Let me.
I want to do something in response to Ryger, though,
Okay.
before I forget. Would I be able to tell if he seems like that response was truthful, or if he was trying to, like, mask around he knew that was coming?
Yeah, I believe it is also insight.
Oh,
to
so
see
could I do
through a
that
lie.
too?
Yeah. Anyone who was
Okay.
around when he was talking about it. Because Sarai, you were talking to him, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
That'll be a 17 for me.
Same. I got a 17. Oh, look at that.
Twins.
He seems like he certainly wasn't expecting it. He seems to be pretty genuinely just a relaxed person. From what you can tell.
So
That's
it doesn't
just what your
seem
characters.
like a lie.
That's what your characters seem to get. You can form your own opinions from there, but he seems to be pretty genuinely relaxed. Trying to think of what might give away whether he's telling the truth or not, but
I just know, like, how he said
Watcher,
it.
you were, yeah, how he said it. He seemed to be most of his statement was talking about how he knew you guys had it under control, and he seems to pretty genuinely believe that you had it under wraps from the beginning.
Yeah, and I didn't know if, like, seeing his reaction when they actually showed up.
Well, so that was
That
the
was
problem,
down
is
there.
you heard glass shattering, but you didn't get to see what they were all doing. Oh wait, or did you?
She saw them
No.
after they had killed the silver-haired
Yeah.
people, and
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, I think you missed any general reaction, but he did look about as surprised as everyone else when they had jumped in. It was only after combat started that he kind of walked over and just chilled out.
Okay.
Everybody else? Is everybody else?
So
I do-
I'm trying to steal this guy's lunch money.
So Tomas and Dave or Dave are searching the body.
Welcome.
He seems to be just fully, like, his cloak has no pockets. He was carrying nothing on him. When you roll back his hood, you do see that there is a third eye on his forehead.
Oh.
Is it like a real eye or like a tattoo eye? Or
It is an eye. It is a human-looking eye.
Ew.
I go, what's this? As I poke it.
yeah.
So,
Would I know anything about either species that have a third eye or a way to get a third eye?
yeah,
Like
so
that?
go ahead, roll. I'd say either nature or let's say history
Nature?
or arcana. Because way to
Cool,
get an
magic.
eye might be magic.
Was there anything special about his robes he was wearing?
Um,
Like designs, color,
they seem to be pretty plain.
plain? Okay.
Yeah, they seem to be the kind of clothes you could get around walking through the streets with.
Okay.
The eye, like you said,
I'm-
it looks like a human eye, but is it an actual eye or is it like a mechanical looking
well,
human eye?
Dave or Dave, when you poke it, it
Yeah.
is spongy like a human eye. The eye does
Yeah.
not blink.
Well, it's
I go, does this
ripped out
hurt
of a
as
skull.
I
Why
do
would
it?
For the most part, he's just kind of constantly wailing and screaming nonsense about eyes at this point.
Okay,
I
so
got
he's
a
not responding
19.
to...
Yeah, he's mostly just kind of catatonically mad.
What you
I got a
did?
19 on my history/arcana.
Let's see. What would you know? You know of, outside of like, a Cyclops, there aren't a lot of races that would look exactly human, but with a different number of eyes. So if this person managed to get a third eye, it must be through some form of mutation. Either genetic or arcane.
Wait, is the eye attached to him or not attached to him?
The eye is
Part of him.
on his
It's like-
forehead.
Oh, I thought they found an eye. Okay, I was
No.
very
Yeah,
confused.
sorry. It is
That makes a lot
embedded
more
in his
sense.
head. Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't seem to be mechanical.
Right.
You could just poke the guy in the eye.
It doesn't blink, and he's mad. So I don't think he felt that with the everything else going on.
No, I know. It's just like from me thinking that he just like found an eye in his pocket and was like poking that to full on poking this guy's forehead eye.
Yeah.
This was a different shit.
Oh yeah, no, like I'm poking him in the forehead. All right.
Okay.
I pull out my dagger, and I say to everybody else, "Do we need this guy for anything else?"
I don't think we're going to get any information out of him.
I say he served his purpose. Isn't that what he said to what's his face?
Oh, I'm
I believe he
sick of
did.
the wailing.
Yeah.
Prince
He served his
Goldbergen
usefulness.
says.
What did he say, Josh?
Okay.
He said, "I'm sick of the wailing."
I did not
Go
hear
ahead.
you.
hold up
Wailing,
the dagger
okay.
to her.
I
Not
hand the
wailing,
prince my
like-
dagger and
or,
say,
like,
okay,
wailing,
do
like
something
screaming.
about it.
What
You
was
hand it
that?
to who?
Whoever just complained, I give him a dagger and say, okay, you can finish him then.
Ooh,
I'll be
I
right
was just gonna
obliged
do
to.
it, but
If you don't want the privileges of my scaly friend.
I'm indifferent.
I'm still just
Maybe
like-
give him his last words.
Uh,
Any last words I say to the fucking crazy guy rambling?
um,
Why do you have an actual knife?
what was that?
Have you already forgotten me?
Henry's holding an actual knife.
Just-
But, so yeah, Kulberkin's got the knife, or got a knife.
Oh my god, yeah.
The raving lunatic kind of stops for a second. And then just, the mistress of eyes is eternal. And her gaze is unending. And,
You ain't.
then Kulberkin just slams the knife down into his throat. And he gives out like a quick,
Nice.
just a brief gurgle, and dies like any normal man.
was gonna stab him in the third eye, but I guess this is probably more, less frowned upon.
Poetic.
Well, I hadn't think of that, my friend.
All right, I'm gonna go about starting to clean the blood off my weapon and my clothes.
Terrible business this is, Orgev says, kind of just walking. His Warforged is now staying very much closer to him.
Mm-hmm.
But attempts on my life are known far and wide.
I'll say, was this terribly unexpected?
The bit about the eyes seems unexpected, but, various groups have wanted me dead before.
Which is why we're here now.
Exactly. Well, I suppose it's just down to cleaning up and then enjoying what rest of the ride we can.
How did those things get on the train?
I was like,
Were they
can I
already
continue
here?
to look around?
Yeah, you can try to. Try to look around in the other cars.
Yeah. It's because they came from the
Is
back,
there
right? So can I go
any
towards the back
broken
part?
glass?
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
don't see any broken glass in the car above you guys.
There's an above.
With enough searching around, you guys will find it. That there is just a crate that is empty, that has one side of it opened.
And the car ahead of us.
What?
And the car ahead of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might stand to reason that
That they
a
came
cart was
aboard this-
loaded on with them
Yeah.
inside it.
Yeah.
So I see no broken glass anywhere in this cart.
There is broken glass on the floor where those monsters came through. Because they broke through
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, they broke through like the window door at the back.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Kill
asking,
them.
just to make sure that they broke through the window.
Yeah.
Go over and see what weapons they had.
So
You're petting your cat with
The
a
big
knife.
monsters.
You'll see something better?
Okay, so we have found the crate that they came in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I wonder why they chose now to attack.
It's a
Well,
great question.
how far is the journey? I guess that's
I don't know off the top of my head the speed of a lightning rail, but you guys had stopped in the town of Traylon not short before that. Whether they got on there or in any of the other stops before then.
okay. I just didn't
is
know how
not
close we
100%
were.
certain.
Like
So,
how
yeah,
close we
you
were
guys
to
are
the.
probably a couple hours from your destination.
Okay, so it's half. I didn't know if we were like almost there, and I was like, why'd they choose now to attack? But I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
if we.
So
we're halfway
you're
through
at
there.
like the halfway point between the last stop and where you like are going.
Gotcha. So it doesn't matter. Okay.
But yeah, unless anyone's got anything else, wrapping up essentially, the caravan or the lightning rail gets there peacefully, except for, of course, everything here. Bodies are disposed of. No one really speaks of it. Treaty of Thronehold goes off without a hitch. All of the nations, or many of the nations, are declared, sovereign. There are a few that get left out of the peace treaty, but those are minor nations. Warforged are all given their freedom. Relative peace is established between everybody. And notably, of the people in the cart, Prince Orgev is not named a king. Sire remains a non-existent nation. And throughout the diplomacy, the Treaty of Thronehold recognizes the Lazar Principalities as a nation, or as close. It doesn't necessarily, result in its unification, but the Thronehold Treaty does acknowledge Ryger as the High Prince of the Lazar Principalities, giving
Can
him
you say
a
that
title.
again?
So Ryger is given the designation of High Prince of Lazar, So he is the High Prince of Lazar versus everyone else being a simple prince. He goes on to call for unification over the course of the next 2 years, to be met with middling results. And so our game picks up again 2 years from now, when you get a letter, which I'll write out and post, from one of Prince Colberkin's aides, saying that he would request your presence in the town of Tantamar in Lazar.
Cool.
And so our game picks up 2 years from now, when the party essentially reconvenes at his behest.
Okay.
Okay.
And other than that, that's the end of session 1.
Wow.
Sweet. That was great.